Hey everybody, it's Editing Roy. Just wanted to come in and let you know, give you a heads up that this episode does discuss some child abuse. So if that's something that you don't want to hear about, maybe just proceed with caution. We try not to dwell on it a whole lot, but it's still in there. Kind of the nature of the beast with the characters that we're dealing with. Not great. Anyway, just wanted to give you a little heads up. Enjoy the episode.
City bitch, 10, 10, 10, 20s on your titties, bitch. 100 deep, VIP, no guest list. Titty raw, you don't know who you fucking with. Got my other bitch, fucking with my other bitch. Fucking all night, we ain't sell a bit. Say I'm too dope, I ain't selling it. Bar fresh than the motherfucking peppermint. The gold letterman's last king killing shit. Young money, yeah, we getting rich. Got your grandma on my dick. City bitch.
Friends, haters, cultivators. Welcome to Podcasting is Forbidden in the Cloud Recesses, the only lesbian-hosted podcast about Patriarch of the Tao of Modao. I'm Old Ugly Pants Roy.
Old Ugly Pants Roy. And I am Fallon, aka Mr. Ruin His Damn Life.
Damn. This chapter fucking sucks.
This chapter was harrowing.
Yeah.
Like, it was emotionally taxing.
Yeah.
I think I aged 5 years just rereading this shit. Like,
I'm already in my 60s. Like,
oh my god. Like, I felt the years drag on my body the more I read through this chapter.
And there's a lot of this chapter to read.
There's so
it's a big
many
old
pages
boy.
of it. 334 to 354.
It's like 20 pages. Yeah. 28 and a half by 11 American pages.
American Standard pages.
It's a lot. Did
I ever tell you about the one time when I was in first or second grade when they asked us to use college ruled paper instead of wide ruled, and that was the first time I had ever heard of that, and I raised my hand and asked what the difference was between college ruled and wide ruled, and I got put in timeout.
What the fuck?
I got told to sit on the timeout carpet, and that was also the owner and proprietor of the school.
Oh my god!
Told us to do that. I was like, cool.
How could you ask a question? How dare you ask a question?
How dare you ask a question as a fucking 7-year-old?
What the shit?
Homestead? Montessori schools, weird as fuck, y'all.
What the fuck?
Anyway,
so this
I'm old as hell now.
Oh, mood. I mean, and I'm already internet old, so we don't need to go into that.
Yeah.
It's grandma. But, before we get into the chapter, we had a bit of a longer break than, we should have between the last episode coming out and this one, 8th, but what happened in the last couple of weeks or whatever it was is that we got a teaser for the Chibi season.
Yeah, and it was very cute.
It was very cute, and Chibi Wi-Fi is back with that fat fucking ass again.
Yeah, it's really distracting.
They insist. MXTX is back there being the advisor for these things or whatever and saying, I will sign over all of the rights to everything. I will let you rob me of my creative authorship rights, Tencent, as long as you agree to, no matter what adaptation this is, give this boy a big old butt.
Make sure he keeps them cakes.
Keep them cakes 2020.
Keep them cakes 2020.
Keep them chibi cakes.
Dude. Chibi cakes. And also, I'm really excited because there was a little, I'm pretty sure it was drunk Lan Wangji.
Yeah.
Speaking of Lan Wangji, I missed him so much in this chapter.
I miss him. I want him to come back.
I missed him so much in this stupid chapter. Sorry, my ringtone was on.
No,
that was
fine.
Bad podcast etiquette. I just like, the longer I went through this chapter, the more I was like, oh my god, I need to see Lan Wangji. I need to cleanse my soul.
I need him back.
I feel like shit, just want him back.
Honestly.
Feel like shit.
Want him back.
Just want him back, dude. I'm tired of this shit. I didn't want 2 pages of Xue Yang telling his weird sob story.
I'm so fucking sick of Xue Yang.
I didn't want 20 pages of a perfectly hapless, stupid, good man being manipulated basically to death.
I don't
At
want
least ego
this.
death, the fuck?
Who could want this?
I don't want it. I just want Lan Wangji.
I want him to pick me up in his huge arms and just tell me that it's okay. Because this is all in the past now.
I want him to give me a hug and let me pet a rabbit.
Yeah.
And then,
you know he keeps one on him.
And then I want him to make me do, like, a recording of something.
Yeah.
You know, like, just copy some rules 100 times. I think that would soothe me.
I thought you meant like an audio recording or something. Lan Wangji forces you to do ASMR.
Oh my god! Yeah, I was thinking about the way that sounded, and I was like, maybe not. I don't know about that one.
Now speak very closely into the microphone. Yes, you have to lower your voice a little bit.
You have to whisper like this. You have to whisper into the microphone, and it's very unsettling for a lot of people, and yet somehow it's really popular.
Do you want to talk about this chapter?
Yeah, let's talk about this chapter for a minute.
Get this fucking over
I'm
with.
excited for the Chibi series.
Yeah, we all are. I'm excited for Chibi Wei Ying's humongous ass.
I'm just excited because everybody looks really cute.
They do look really cute.
They look really cute.
They did give... Something happened where Chibi Jiangcheng got like a big Looney Tunes cartoon knot on his head.
Yeah,
I don't know what happened.
To see that. I'm just excited to see more Jiangcheng content.
That's true. I miss him too.
I miss him. I miss Jin Liang.
I miss everyone.
Anybody who isn't this awful, terrible fucking
murder twink.
There's
so many murder twinks in this novel. What the fuck?
There are quite a few murder twinks now that I think of it.
I can think of at least 3 off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Possibly 4. Maybe more. Let's talk.
Murder twinks.
8 legs, 7 murder twinks.
Wow.
Maybe more.
That's a robust number.
It's a healthy number. Chapter 40?
Chapter 40 time.
Chapter 40, Grasses Part 8. We only have 2 more parts of this left. And then we can move on with the rest of our lives.
The slog. The slog of it all.
This isn't even the longest arc in the novel. Let's talk about it.
I don't even care that that this isn't the longest arc. It feels like the longest novel I've ever read because I'm just completely...
It's a novel within a novel.
At this point, I am completely uninvested in Xue Yang as a character. I want him to go away until he needs to be relevant and evil again. Which you know is going to happen, not a spoiler, just a fact.
He's going to make it happen.
He's going to make it happen because he's the type of person who needs to insert himself into everything.
We're making this happen.
I'm just, bro.
The eye roll they just did.
Bro, I'm really tired of seeing this motherfucker. I'm really tired of it. I hate what he pulled in this chapter. I hate what he pulled last chapter. I hate what he pulled on... actually, a couple different clans now. You know, just a quick genocide.
You know, he just stays pulling shit.
He stays pulling shit. He stays being disrespectful.
Every action he takes can only be described as pulling shit, and I'm so tired.
Shit. I'm really not criticizing Mo Shang-Tongshu's writing here. I just hate characters like this. They're just not my cup of fucking emperor smile. You know?
This man is 2020 the person.
It exhausts me. It's exhausting to read about. I do need a nap. He is 2020 the person. Just 2020 personified. He's a 2020 Gijinka. And we hate it.
We fucking hate it.
It's awful. Anyway,
oh my god, I fucking hate it. You know
let's get balls deep in this summary.
Yeah. Chapter 40.
Let's get into it.
Let's fucking get into it. Chapter 40, Grass is part 8. Do you know who else hates it? A-Qing.
Yeah.
She is, fortunately though, she's too damn tough to truly get scared of Xue Yang tricking Xiao Xingchen into killing alive people, even though she does hate it, as established. We get more about how Xue Yang is tricking Xiao Xingchen, which is by using corpse powder to make the villagers seem dead, because it tricks Shuanghua, because Shuanghua is a corpse-finding sword. Xiao Xingchen is clueless about it. He's just like, weird how there's so many zombies here, and Xue Yang is like, I know, right? Well, we can complain about it when we get there.
Yeah.
A-Qing starts trailing them every time they go night hunting, and it's the same shit again and again, and she's just watching Xue Yang go night hunting, and it's, she's just watching him around the clock. She's very vigilant. One night she starts bothering Xiao Xingchen to tell her a story, and he's bad at it, but he tries, and he tells her stories about Baoshan Sanren's other disciples who left the mountain like he did, and Wei Wuxian is like, oh, Sangsa Sanren was my mom. Good thing Xiao Xingchen isn't telling this child that her son grew up to be society's bastard.
The bastard of life.
The bastard of life. He also starts talking about Song Lan, but he gets weird and sad about it and doesn't go on. Xue Yang cuts in, and this is where we get his fucking true crime backstory, which is that when he was a little baby, he got hired by some rando at a restaurant to take a letter to some other rando on the promise of having treats thrown into his mouth.
Literally, yeah.
But when he got, when he came back, but he couldn't read, so he didn't know that the letter just had "fuck you" written on it, apparently, and the guy he took the letter to beat the shit out of him. And then when he got back to get his treat payment, that guy was gone, and the waiter at the restaurant beat the shit out of him. And then he ran into the first rando, and that guy beat the shit out of him too. And Xue Yang's like, well, I still gotta have my candy, is the moral of the story. And Xiao Xingchen starts giving both Xue Yang and A-Qing a piece of candy while they're asleep. It would be cute if not for the things that happen later.
There are so many things in this chapter that are like, it would be cute if not for everything else that was happening.
Infuriating.
God.
We get a bit about Xue Yang being good at haggling, which is good because Xiao Xingchen he easily gets ripped off every time he goes to ancient Chinese Vampire Times Kroger, and good for A-Qing too, because she gets mad whenever that happens, but can't really do anything about it. So Xue Yang and A-Qing have a while where things are just, like, civil, but she's still got her eye out. Her not blind eye out. So then one day she's fucking around and she runs into this big, handsome, goth jock cultivator who tells her to watch out, there's bad vibes afoot, and it's Song Lan. And he's looking for Xiao Xingchen. And A-Qing catches on and is like, oh, I got this, and starts leading him back to the coffin house, but Song Lan stops, because Rutro Raggy, Xue Yang is there too, and Song Lan knows all about this little fuck. So Song Lan and A-Qing, like, hide behind a bush or something and, watch while Xue Yang and Xiao Xingchen decide who's gonna go to the grocery store. And Xue Yang tricks Xiao Xingchen at first, but then changes his mind and decides to go instead. Song Lan asks A-Qing a bunch of questions about how long this guy's been here, what the whole shit of it is, and she's just like, that guy's a fucking asshole. Daozhang's just lonely. And then it's Song Lan's turn to go, I got this. And Wei Wuxian watching this thinks, fuck yes, go get him. And Song Lan books ass down the road to confront Xue Yang, and Xue Yang says, oh, hi, Mark. And Song Lan is like, what the fuck is up, Xue Yang? And
pull up!
Pull up! He demands answers. Xue Yang just acts shitty and bratty at him, like goads him the way he always fucking does. He's like, remember how you told Daozhang to fuck off after I killed your whole temple just according to my Keikaku? And Song Lan blue screens. Xue Yang throws corpse powder at him and slices his tongue off when he coughs from it. Song Lan's all fucked up, but he still tries to attack Xue Yang, but then, Shuanghua stabs through Song Lan's body. We hate it. Xiao Xingchen is here, and he's like, it's all good, I got this, eat dirt, zombie. And Xue Yang says that he likes it. Song Lan stays quiet because he doesn't want Xiao Xingchen to know that he killed him. The alive boys go inside for dindins. A-Qing goes up to dead Song Lan and apologizes for getting him into this and for not being able to do anything, and vows to murder the shit out of Xue Yang for this.
As you do.
As you do. Big mood. She goes home crying and passes it off that some girl in the village called her ugly. She demands that Xiaoyu and only Xiaoyu take her shopping for a new hot girl wardrobe, and makes him promise to do it the next day since everything's closed at this point. Later on, she's alone with Xue Yang, and he's like, if somebody calls you ugly, you gotta kill him and mutilate him. And she's like, can you fucking not? And then
For once in your life,
can you please be normal? And he says no. But then the next day, she and Xiaoyu head out to do their fashion shopping, and she asks him if he knows somebody named Xue Yang, and that's the chapter.
That's it. It ends on that cliffhanger question.
Fuck Xue Yang. I'm so sick of this boy. Oh my god, I'm so sick of him.
Xue Yang.
I'm tired.
My longest fuck Xue Yang ever.
Honest to God, I'm so tired.
I'm tired of this motherfucker. I'm like, rip to you if you like him, but this is not a
so
pro.
fucking different.
This is not a pro Xue Yang podcast.
Not anymore.
I'm so sorry. You're not going to find satisfaction about that character here.
I'm sorry about it, but not sorry about it.
I'm not the 1, 2, 3, or 4. All right. I'm not any of them.
No.
I can't do it. I really thought, okay, so I read the book for the first time, and then I was in the fandom, and I saw all of these takes about Xue Yang, and I was like, okay, you know what? He's probably not that bad, and I just, like, really remembered him being terrible.
Yeah.
But I'm rereading the book now, and we're on grasses, and boy, this man...
Part 8 of Grasses.
Horrible!
I'm so fucking tired, dude.
I'm tired of it. I'm so fucking tired of it. I don't like characters like this. I just don't. It's my personal preference that I don't like characters like this. I don't like dynamics like this. And I say dynamics because I know that there are people who enjoy Xiaoyu and Xue Yang together. I don't like that dynamic, especially from what I've seen in this, especially from the rest of the ships that I can choose from in this book. I can't do it. I'm tired of this man.
I'm so tired. I'm just sitting here underlining everything you're saying. I'm so fucking... He's a shit-eating grin with legs, and I'm so fucking tired. There's only so much I can take.
He's a human skid mark.
He's so fucking...
God almighty.
He's so obnoxious. He's just so like...
That's what it is. He's fucking obnoxious. He is obnoxious.
He's obnoxious, and he's not, like, lovably obnoxious the way Wei Yang is, because Wei Yang is fucking obnoxious, but he's a sweet boy. This one... No.
Like, if he were, like, more insidious or something, I mean, like, you know. But then I guess, you know, Xue Yang wouldn't have had a purpose in the story if he was like, you know.
Thank you for doing that. Every time I have to pull up skulltrumpet.wave and stick it in here, it just makes my editing job that much harder.
Why not, instead of doing that, you record, you know?
Because sometimes we don't remember. Sometimes they just slip out.
That's true.
You know?
So self-censoring myself is the way to go. God.
Yeah. Note to self as well.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. That's fair.
Note to self, you know.
You know.
Uno.
So anyway, I guess Xue Yang serves the purpose of this in the story of just
he's got a fucking purpose. Yeah.
And being like the yandere bait, I guess.
He's the yandere bait. He's also like... I've heard him described as like the absolute worst case scenario for what Wei Wuxian could have been.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, like there are two characters who are big time foils for little baby Wi-Fi.
Sure.
He's definitely one of them.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely... Woo! Yeah, that's definitely apparent. God.
I'm looking at Xue Yang and going, there but for the grace of Goku.
Oh, really?
Because we'll get there. We'll get to his fucking backstory, his fucking whatever. But we start this chapter out with A-Qing being entirely too damn traumatized for any of this to super phase her. She hates it.
Oh, she absolutely hates to see it. She hates to see it.
Yeah.
And
she's just like watching them, and it fucking sucks.
It fucking sucks. And Xiao Xingchen's like, oh my god, I can't believe there's not a single living person in this town. It's crazy that they're all walking corpses.
Weird how there's all these zombies. It's probably nothing.
He's so fucking stupid.
Oh my god, dude.
And the worst part is this stupidity is really only like half his fault. Or partially. I would say partially. It just drives me up the wall.
Oh my god, like, I remember, I don't remember if I said this on the last episode or the episode before, that, like, you know, in the time between the last time I read this and now, I had kind of been like, you know, yeah, he, you know, it's funny to clown on him and be like, haha, him dumb, you know, but, like, I bet there's a lot of cultural shit that I'm missing out. But then, like, in the last chapter, I think it was, Wei Wuxian himself is like, this guy's so fucking stupid. Because he really is just so fucking stupid.
He's so stupid.
Bless his heart, but he is so stupid.
He doesn't know any better.
He doesn't know anything about anything.
God, he is just like a clean fucking slate.
Oh my god, dude.
He never should have left that mountain, man.
He shouldn't have.
He really never should have left that mountain.
He shouldn't have. It, like, granted. Okay, granted leaving would have denied him the chance to ever meet his Joth husband, but both of them probably would have been alive.
Listen, they're a great couple. They're one of my favorites, but...
We do stan,
but the truth of the matter is that, oh, God, man, they're probably better off never having met each other.
It's so fucking... It's the most tragic shit. Ugh. It fucking hurts. This is just... Horrible. I'm already tired. 3 paragraphs into this chapter, and I'm fucking tired.
I'm fuck.
Yeah, but he says,
God, and I just, like, I hate, in this chapter especially, being put in Ah-Ching's shoes to see all of this stuff. It's so torturous.
I know, because she is, like, we see her being so fucking smart, and she makes so many good decisions, and she's trying so hard, but she's just this little tiny teenage girl who is like has to put up is like kind of forced into the role of being disabled on top of that.
Yeah.
And she's not a cultivator. She's dealing with people who are essentially demigods. What the fuck is she supposed to do? It's amazing that she's made it this far, and it's amazing, you know.
Yeah.
She's fucking incredible. I was just thinking about her when I was going into work this morning. I was like, she's so fucking smart.
She's so fucking cool.
She's so good.
She's like the only thing that brightens the just sense of powerlessness and futility in this arc, you know?
But, like, it's like you pointed out a few episodes ago, like, the fact that we are in her POV, like, highlights how fucking helpless she felt during all of this.
It's a great reflection of it.
It is. God. So, anyway, Xue Yang and Xiao Xingchen are looking at all of the zombies that it's weird that they're here, and they're both just like, oh, weird, whatever.
And Wei Wuxian kind of ends up recognizing a couple of these people. Mm-hmm. And they end up being dudes that, it says a few pieces of memory ago, which is however many months ago.
Yeah.
They saw, you know, this unlikely trio walking down the road and started, like, making fun of them and pointing at them and shit.
Yeah.
And Ah-Qing was, you know, she was hot as fuck. She was very mad.
Oh, yeah.
And Xue Yang just, like, smiled at him.
He gave him the fake-ass, bitch-ass-ist smile.
He gave him a creepy smile, like, sometimes, you know, you're cool, And normal response to people who make fun of you is to homicide them.
Sometimes.
We have all been there.
Who among us?
Who among us? Like, really?
Glass houses. But yeah, he says, and then he turns them into not zombies, and then they get killed by somebody who isn't him because he's this.
Because he, clearly he wants to keep his hands clean there, but I think it's more about poisoning Xiaoyu.
Oh, yeah, definitely, yeah.
Obvious, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So,
and Ah-Ching checks over him, and she thinks they're dead, but Wei Wuxian's like, oh, honey.
Yeah. Hey, remember the mummy dust? It's the corpse poisoning. It's back.
The corpse poisoning is back. And
so, can we talk about how these people look when they're under corpse poisoning? Because it's not great.
Not ideal. They look dead.
But they're not dead.
They really kind of act dead. They emit corpse energy, which I'm imagining is just rotten vibes.
It's what I give off when I go into work.
And, when I read the little lines such as emitting corpse energy, my heart sank.
Yeah.
Because, Shanghua really,
Yep.
really seeks out corpse energy.
Even his sword is stupid. He so...
And it's like... They mentioned that with the corpse powder, if you work fast enough, the people can be saved. But these people are just getting, they're getting murked because
nobody was around to help them.
Well, not only that, but not only was no one around to help them, there was also someone around to cut their tongues out of their heads before, Xiaoxing Chen went corpse hunting with his best pal Xue Yang.
Yeah, his best friend in the holy world. And then the paragraph ends with the narrator, Wei Wuxian's brain, just saying, there's actually zero difference between dead corpses and alive corpses, you imbecile, you fucking moron. And then,
I think it's a choice.
It's a choice.
Said it was a maniac way to kill others without dirtying his own hand. A merciless way to instead dirty the hand that fed him.
Fuck this guy.
Listen.
Sometimes...
This line just made me... This entire chapter made me so fucking mad. And I'm not trying to get spicy here again, but anybody who can read this shit... This whole chapter, but especially this shit, and still go, Xue Yang did nothing wrong, and he's the best character in the series, actually. I'm worried for them.
Yeah.
Like, I'm concerned.
Take a fucking minute. Just take a minute, okay?
I understand personal preferences, but buddy. Please, God, think of your health.
Just evaluate your shit.
Not to troll or whatever, but think of your goddamn health. Anyway, Ah-Ching doesn't know about any of this shit, so obviously we're getting Wei Wuxian's, helpless, genius trapped, I have no genius brain, and I must sit on a throne made out of it.
I have no intelligence, and I must solve. So, fucking...
And he's like...
But yeah, we get...
And so Ah-Ching, she kind of believes that Xue Yang is, helping Xiaoxing Chen around.
She's skeptical. She's like, no,
she's skeptical.
Way.
She's like, I don't know. And Wei Wuxian's peak yelling at the TV.
Yeah.
Just don't believe, just don't believe Xue Yang just like this.
Yeah.
Watching Cold Case and hollering after having already solved the murder himself in the first 5 minutes, looking ass.
This bitch yelling at forensic files.
He's yelling at forensic files.
This bitch fucking talking through the screen at John Walsh.
He's like, it's obviously the neighbor. Why can't you idiots see that? God, cops are so useless.
Oh, yeah. Robert Stack, meet me. So
Robert Stack, meet me. In the pit.
In the pit. We get, a bit, though, about, it's basically, he just kind of, mentally praises Ah-Ching for being smart.
Yeah.
And we just kind of, learn via her being smart about just kind of the power of normies.
Yeah.
And I had a bit of a brain blast thinking about this, because, like, one thing I love about Modao is that we get a lot of instances like this of normie-ass, non-cultivator people being shown to be clever and good in contrast to the piece of shit ruling class cultivators who can be just petty gossiping shitheads.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, there's something to be said about those people being so shitty when their power ostensibly comes from their virtue. Like, that's what cultivation is about, supposedly. And
that's what a lot of things in history have been about. Right? It seems to me like it's a pattern that repeats itself, and the chief catalysts seem to be, in all cases, absolute power and money.
Isn't it weird?
So weird.
And you know what? Another thing that's weird about this is how, like, we I don't remember if we've learned already or if it's something that we eventually learn, but there's like a bit of a component of being, or having the ability to cultivate, being sort of genetic, right. Which is another weird thing. It's weird how, like, people will come up with somewhat arbitrary differences in, physical factors to separate themselves, and then say, hey, you people are below us, and kind of never really, think about the fact that isn't true.
Not to mention physical ability.
Woo! Not to mention that. Not to mention, just kind of how power bad. But anyway.
Power bad.
But yeah, we get some normie respecting. We get to drink some normie respecting juice.
Yeah.
And then it's story time.
Story time.
With the family.
It's a cold, cold night. They're all gathered around the furnace.
Yep.
They're all gathered around the furnace.
Yep.
I need to stop using that creepy, stupid voice. Sorry. They're all gathered around the furnace. And A-Qing is pestering our pal Dao Zhang for a story.
Yeah.
And she is whining, screaming, crying, throwing a fit about it.
Yep.
Xue Yang is not having it, obviously.
He's trying to vibe, and he tells her, tellingly, that he'll tie her tongue into a knot if she keeps talking.
And, like, come on, she's just trying to make sure Xue Yang doesn't fill the silence by, like, asking baiting questions about politics.
What?
You know?
God.
Because he's the type.
Oh my God.
I called him a chud later on, and I will stand on it. I will stand by it. God, and Xiao Chen's like, dude, I'm completely uncreative. I grew up on a large rock where all we did was practice magic and eat kanji, and I
don't know. I don't know a fucking thing, my guy.
I don't know a fucking thing. How am I supposed to tell you a story? Nobody told me a story.
Hey, did you know that stories are essentially lies, and that hearing stories helps you develop skepticism and the ability to speculate? I wonder if this could have had an effect on him. It probably didn't. So,
wow.
So he finally relents, and he's like, okay, I'll tell you a story that happened on a mountain, because that's the only place that I know exists. So she, like, guesses the start of the story, because it's just, like, a thing. And then
Xiao Chen's like, no,
this is a good one.
He starts telling the story of, this cool celestial mountain.
Yeah.
And this cool immortal who lived on the mountain, and she had a bunch of cool disciples, but they couldn't leave the mountain.
Yep.
They didn't need to do that.
Because she's running Baoshan Sanren's $1 grilled cheese truck, where, if you leave, you gotta sort your own shit out. Do not bring tomatoes up here.
Figure out your own life.
Figure your own shit out. I'm not about that life.
Figure out your own life. Yeah, she didn't want it, because she didn't really want anything to do with the outside world, which is gonna be me in 10 years living on a commune.
Honestly.
And A-Qing's like, then, like, how? That's gotta be so fucking boring. There must have been some kids, who just wanted to, like, go outside and play.
And he says, matter of fact,
there was one who turned out to be a mass murderer.
Oops.
And I thought that this was pretty intense at first, but, like, I guess there have probably been so few disciples that left the mountain to begin with that the only example Xiao Xingchen could come up with for somebody going outside to play is the guy who grew up to be a mass murderer.
Yeah.
So oops.
Yeah. I mean, he's got two examples because we get a little bit about guy number one, Yangling Daoren.
And he sucked for some reason. Nobody can figure out how he came to suck so bad.
He became the damn Joker.
But he ended up being the bastard of their lives.
Yeah. And then the next one who left was Sangsa Sanren, and she came down and gave birth to the bastard of the world. The next bastard of the world.
And when Xiao Xingchen starts to mention the second disciple was a Goral.
A Goral.
And he said, she's very outstanding, and it says, Wei Wuxian's chest felt warm. And like, this was the only moment of levity or respite for me in this chapter. Like, Wei Wuxian gets to hear somebody talk about his cool mom.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
Yeah, and I love this because, like, I think I talked about this some in an episode where we got mad at Zhang Fengmian for some reason, where, like, we don't know a whole lot about how much, or no, I think it says that, like, he didn't tell Wei Ying about his parents a whole lot. He didn't talk about them, which fucking sucks. Like, let the kid hear about his parents. You knew them, you know? I'm just getting mad at Zhang Fengmian again now.
He just sucks, dude. He's really, he's an awful dad.
Whatever. We're here
bad person.
We're here to get mad at Xue Yang this episode.
Yeah, bad person, electric chair next.
Hospital.
And fucking,
Ching is like, was she pretty? Did she marry a handsome prince and live happily ever after? And Xiao Xingchen says, nope.
No, she married a servant.
She married some asshole. And
they lived happily ever after. And like, he really does not know how to tell stories because he said this with full knowledge that they fucking bit it.
Oh yeah, they
lived happily ever.
They extremely did not live happily ever. They lived happily 5 years after, more or less. And
I guess that was fine.
And then Ah-Ching turns into the kid from Princess Bride and starts complaining a lot.
She's like, what kind of crap is this? What kind of crap is this? This is some old crap. This is some crap, old man. I don't like it. And I just like, fucking, she's like, she not only married a servant, but they died. This is the most depressing crap, dude. I asked for a cool bedtime story, and you're gonna bring down the room like that.
This is stupid.
And I like the way this next one is worded when Wei Wuxian thinks to himself, good thing Xiao Xingchen didn't go and tell her that the two of them gave birth to another big villain that everybody wanted to beat up, or else she might be spitting about me. Like, he knows well enough by now to fear the wrath of this child.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't want to see the day when he gets a tongue lashing from Ah-Ching.
Oh yeah. I'm not about to do it, god damn.
And Xiao Xingchen's like, I told you
I suck at this. And
bad at this, man.
And then, so, Xue Yang, now he starts asking his goading questions.
Yeah, because Ah-Ching's like, well, then, like, tell me about some cool night hunts or something.
Yeah, you're a cultivator. Tell me about the cool shit you did. And Xue Yang's like,
yeah, he literally
starts his stupid hands together.
He starts getting excited thinking about re-traumatizing Xiao Xingchen.
Yeah. He opens his mouth and waits for the treat to be thrown into it because he knows some shit he can use is coming his way.
Yep.
And so he asks him, hey, did you used to night hunt alone?
And Xiao Xingchen's like, no.
Ah-Ching, like, carries on. She's like, well, who else was there? And Xiao Xingchen is like, well, definitely not my husband who I was married to and in love with.
Xiao Xingchen's like, a very good friend of mine. And it says, an eerie light flashed inside Xue Yang's eyes and his smile grew larger. It seemed that peeling off Xiao Xingchen's scabs gave him quite a lot of pleasure. I can't even call this a red flag anymore, dude. The text has moved on to flashing red signs that just say, this guy sucks. This guy sucks.
He fucking sucks. And they ask him, like, she asks him, like, who this dude was, what sort of person he was, and Xiao Xingchen, says he was a sincere man of Joth nature.
He was a sincere man of noble nature. And I'm just thinking, like, he replied calmly, I'm just thinking, like, well, glass half full about the eye thing. At least I don't cry every time I talk about Song Lan now.
God.
You know.
Jesus. And then Xue Yang doesn't like it. He gets sassy about it, and he turns into a fucking petty-ass bitch like he always does, and is like, some husband.
Yeah, he's like, oh, where's your boyfriend then? Like, why hasn't he come to rescue you? And, like, he's
Even Wei Wuxian is like, this fucking bitch.
He's so contemptuous that Xiaoyu is talking about someone else positively. Like, this is fucking psychopath behavior.
It's horrible.
It's fucking awful. I hate to see it. And Wei Wuxian's like, God, what a piece of shit. Mm-hmm. And Xiaoyu, like, that just hits him a little too hard.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, I don't know. But, you know, I hope.
And he gets cut off.
And he cuts himself off, and he's like, all right, well, you know, let's pack it in, guys. I suck at telling stories.
But then Xue Yang slides in and says, oh no, I got a story for you.
Yeah.
And then it turns into Last Podcast on the Left, episode 974, Xue Yang, part 1.
Yeah, for real, I could have genuinely gone without Xue Yang's sob story. Like, genuinely, I'm good.
We gotta get the serial killer origin story.
I freaking guess, man. I'm just like, whatever. And like, A-Qing is so desperate for a story that she's like, all right, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll tune in. It's fucking true crime YouTube channel. Let's go. And so he gives his little story, you know.
We've heard it. We don't need to go over it. He gets taken advantage of, which is awful.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna detract from the fact that that's fucking awful.
Yeah, and I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on this, not because I don't think it's worth spending time on, but because I just don't want to dwell on child abuse.
Yeah, I don't want to do that either.
Because, like, all of these people who treated him this way are fucking awful.
Oh, they're fucking terrible.
He's like 7 years old. He didn't deserve this. That said, there are many, 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 many abuse victims who don't grow up to become Ted Bundy-ass bitches, so I don't want to hear it. Sort out your own shit.
That's it. I'm sorry about it, but I'm really not sorry about it. You hit the nail on the head. I don't have any sympathy. I have no sympathy for people like this. I don't care how huge their sob story is, because I know that that's not the only way for people like this to turn out.
Exactly. Like,
and it's not even the most narratively satisfying way for people like this to turn out. It's cheap. Sorry.
No, you're fine. In a vacuum, I have sympathy for him. Just on the basis of him being a child and this happening to him. That's, of course I have sympathy for him. But it ends when he grows up and becomes this.
He uses it as an excuse.
Exactly.
To enact all of these atrocities on humankind and society at large.
Yeah. Because he's fucking petty.
And I don't buy it.
I don't buy it. And I'm gonna get to it more, because there's a fucking thing he decides to go and say later on in this chapter.
It's just disgusting.
That's just gonna highlight that even more. But one thing I do want to talk about is the fucking fact that this guy says, hey, give this letter to this other guy. And he takes this letter over to him. And the second guy opens this letter up, and we don't know what it says, but it insults him. It offends his sensibilities, and I gotta speculate on the funny things that could have been written on this paper.
I think it's a drawing of him with a doo-doo on his head.
It was a drawing of Dick Butt.
It was a drawing of Dick Butt, and it pointed with an arrow, and it said, you.
Yeah, it was a drawing of a gun. It says, read this if you're a big idiot who's stupid. And he said, what? Because he had been coaxed into a snafu. It was a drawing of a middle finger. I'm just listing all of the things that I've come up with. Any of these would be funny.
It was a drawing of a big S. It was the S, and then after the S it said stupid.
It said shithead.
Yeah, shithead. Doo-doo boy. That's
Doo-doo
what it
boy.
said. It said, you're a little doo-doo boy. You're a little doo-doo boy and you need to be paraded on the streets.
What was that fucking copy
Shame.
pasta story about, like, somebody who, like, hacked into their school's email and sent an email from, like, their teacher's account to another teacher and said, like, you're a sad little man or something.
Oh my god! Sad little doo-doo man.
Sad little doo-doo man.
I think that was the chief offense. I think that'd boil anybody's blood, don't you think?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, dude.
That would have ground my
It would have
gears.
grinded in my gears. Grinded in my gears.
Grind my gears. So,
And, you know...
anyway...
Xue Yang takes the letter to this guy, gets his ass beat, whatever.
Yeah,
He wanted sweets, he doesn't get sweets.
So the moral of the story basically is he gotta have them treats on him all the time.
He gotta have them treats on him, and he's like, oh yeah, when I got back to the restaurant, oh, I found that guy, and Ah-Ching's like, yeah, what happened? And Xue Yang's
Did you
like,
kick his ass? And he's like,
kick
no.
his ass?
And he's like, no, I was 7. I got my ass kicked.
And Ah-Ching's like, man, if it was me, I would have kicked his butt.
She probably would have.
Like, I would have been like, like spit in his food.
I'd have hit him and hit him and hit him and pull
like,
my pants off and poop on him
and gave him a swirly and kicked him in the shins.
Give him
And
purple nurple.
I really wish he would have done this instead of the shit that he ended up eventually doing.
Just give him an Indian burn.
God, just fucking be normal. Just be normal.
Give him a wedgie and go on with your life. It's not that hard.
Move on.
I know
And,
you're
like,
7. Whatever.
And Xue Yang's like, that's it. And Xiao Chen's like, all right, because Ah-Ching's, getting really excited,
Yeah,
thinking
she's
about
getting heated.
doing a violence.
Yeah.
And Xiao Chen's like, all right, settle down. It's sleepy time. It's time
It's
to take
bedtime.
you to your coffin, buddy. Come on, let's go.
He picks her up and puts her in the coffin bed.
And she's still bitching.
Yeah.
As he carries her into bed.
And she's like, these stories both suck. Both of these stories made me so fucking mad.
You guys are terrible storytellers. This is worthless. I want my time back. And
Give me my time back.
I agree. She's the most relatable character in
She
the book
is.
at this point. And Xiao Chen, like, after he puts Ah-Ching to sleep, he's like, so, hey, what happened after? Xue Yang's like, nothing. Just guess.
Yeah. And this is where the shit pops off for me in my head. This is where I got the angriest I've ever been. Xiao Chen says, no matter what happened afterwards, since right now your life is fairly adequate, there's no need for you to dwell too much on the past. And the guy whose entire life and MO are defined by dwelling on the past says, I'm not dwelling on the past. This fucking
dude I just, like, God, it really boiled my blood. Like, I made a note because I was so mad at this point reading it. I was like, oh my God. I'm truly amazed at myself for ever even, like, partially thinking that this bastard was at all tolerable.
I swear to
To
God.
me.
It's what he does. He just dwells on the past. He just stays, every wrong that has ever happened to his life, no matter how minute, lives in his mind rent-free. He could be the worst slumlord of all time, but he's not charging any of these bad memories rent. He's just letting them squat.
God,
like they're fucking rats. He's just letting them be there, and he loves it. He loves it.
It's not right, and it's not natural.
No. You gotta let some things go.
God.
That's how the human brain works. You just need to forget about some things so you can have room in your brain for other things to happen. But he says, nope, I'm keeping all of it.
He never developed that fold.
No. His brain is so fucking smooth.
It's extremely smooth. It's like a koala brain.
Yeah.
He has a brain like a koala.
Yeah. And the fucking toxic food that he's eating that kills his brain cells
is murder?
Yeah. It's petty-ass bullshit like this that doesn't matter.
It's petty bullshit like this that doesn't matter, but it's only leveled up to being dangerous because he has no concept of the value of a human life.
Oh, yeah, no.
At all.
No.
And even when he does, he uses it to his advantage.
Oh yeah.
And so he's just like, oh well, I'm not dwelling on the past. She just like little blind just keeps stealing all my candy, and so it like just makes me think of like the times like when I didn't have any candy.
It hurts my feelings.
It like makes me so sad. It like hurts my little feelings.
It hurts his feelies, and she's like, I'm not stealing that much. I only had a little bit. Shut up. Shut the fuck up.
And Xiaoyu like, oh, you kids.
Yeah, it's Betty's. So they do sleepies. Xiaoyu goes out to do night hunting, and he brings back some candy for them. And in the moment, it's cute. In the moment.
Yeah, in the moment, and then she finds Xue Yang up with the candy in front of him, just thonking about it.
Yeah, not saying thank you, ass bitch. It makes
not saying thank you, ass bitch. Yeah, and so it goes into this next kind of little vignette, which is...
It's interesting.
It's interesting in that it would be, like, cute and domestic, if not for...
Yeah.
Literally everything before and after.
Yeah. And it's like, it's just like an interesting insight into their dynamic.
Yeah.
Because we haven't really gotten a whole lot of that yet. Like, we've gotten a lot of the three of them together, but not a lot of the three of them together with other people.
Right.
So this whole bit is about them basically going shopping. And how shopping works. So Xiaoyu is too stupid to know how to haggle.
He's too stupid to know how to haggle. He just doesn't really care about his own life, and he's too trusting of literally everyone.
It says he's too embarrassed to bargain with others, because he's blind, he doesn't know how to pick out vegetables.
And people do take advantage of that, yeah. And A-Qing, of course it makes A-Qing angry. And she'd want to go with Xiaoyu and shop for ingredients with him, but of course she had to keep up the blind thing.
Yep.
So she couldn't really
do anything. Yeah,
anything or show her hand in that respect.
Yeah, she would get mad on Xiaoyu behalf, but there's not much she can do. And this is where Xue Yang comes in.
This is when Xue Yang became useful. The only time he has ever
the
been
same
useful
thing
in his
I
life.
wrote. I just put the only time.
Fuck.
So he is able and willing to haggle, and he's very good at it. And
because he's very fucking intimidating.
Yeah.
And he will actively hunt you down and probably torture and kill you if you don't do what he asks.
Yeah, because if you cheat him out of a single fucking tomato, he's gonna hold it against you for the rest of his days. Or the rest of your days.
Which will be numbered.
Yeah. So, like, Xiaoyu keeps giving them both candy, and that's the only thing that, like, makes sure that A-Qing and Xue Yang are, like, civil with each other for a while.
A delicate peace was maintained. Like, God. And, you know...
That's the power of treats!
It's the power of treats, but I'll tell you, I was so tense reading this whole chapter.
Yeah.
That, like, the facade of domesticity in this paragraph made me, like, sick to my stomach.
I know, because it's like, there's just enough beneficial about Xue Yang's presence to the two of them.
Yeah.
That, like...
That they can... It doesn't even weigh out the fact that he's an absolute abhorrent, the worst piece of shit that he can possibly manage, like, 90% of the time. The 10% of the time that he's actually useful and can just be their eyes.
Yep.
Is the shit that they keep him around for. Mm-hmm. Even though he's horrible and abusive outside of it.
Plus, like, they're both disabled. He isn't.
Yeah.
He's got, like, a bit of a limp, but it's, like, not really anything.
Right.
And so he's got, like, that physical advantage on both of them. So, like, he's basically just squatting. He's like, I don't gotta leave, I don't have anywhere to go, I don't have anywhere to be, so he's just staying, and there's not really anything they can do about it. And it's like, not that there's anything Xiaoyu would do about it, because he's him.
Yeah.
But anyway, one day, A-Qing is fucking around.
Playing the being blind game.
Yeah. And she runs into a man of big.
A man of big. He looks like a palette swapped version of Xiaoyu. It's so weird.
It's so fucking weird.
And Wei Wuxian's like, oh shit, this Mr. Cool Ice looking ass guy, because he's walking in all stoic and cool.
Yep.
And composed. Hey, that's Song Lan.
Yeah.
He was summoned by Xiaoyu saying a nice thing about him.
Mm-hmm. As it happened. And Wei Wuxian is thinking to himself, Song Lan comes up and he's like, hey, go over to this side of the road, there's less people here. And this is where Wei Wuxian thinks they really are good friends, underlined, underlined.
Friends.
Good friends, underline, would have to be similar in character.
Just say soulmates, it's 2020!
Just say husbands.
Just say husbands.
Just
like,
say husbands.
Please.
It's a word that's real and it fits them, so sorry about it.
And A-Qing, of course, she's like, oh, thank you, Dao-Zhang.
And, which, if you're following along and you are a little bit confused, yes, she is referring to both Song Lan and Xiaoyu as Daozhang. It's just a word that means, hey, you're a cultivator and you don't belong to a sect of whatever. Yeah, so it fits both of them.
You're a cultivation doer.
Yeah, you're a cultivation man.
And Song Lan's like, all right, just, keep the fucking around to a minimum, all right? The vibes are terrible around here. We wouldn't want you to see you get hurt or anything. And A-Qing's like, sure!
She goes, and then,
gotcha.
Yep, and then, so she kind of fucks around, like, in his vicinity, I guess.
She
and
eavesdrops.
Yeah, he's looking around he's giving the most conspicuous description of a person I've ever seen written on a page.
He's like, hello, have you seen a man who is a cultivator? He's in white robes, he's carrying a cool sword, and he's blind, and he's also really nice and kind of a pushover. Do you know of anyone in this area who knows that guy or might be that guy, or like I don't know if you or anyone in the surrounding vicinity heard me. I said a blind cultivator in white robes carrying a sword that rang a bell to anybody.
Are you him? You're not him. Okay.
No, okay,
no. Okay, go on. You have a nice day.
And A-Qing's like,
She slides in. Yeah, she says, and
she's like, why are you looking for the other Dao-Zhang?
And this is where we get, like, the start of A-Qing and Song Lan having just, like, I love their interactions.
Yeah.
They just feed off of each other really well, and they have really good dialogue. So he's like, she asks, why are you looking for the other Daozhang? And he's like, have you seen him? And she says, maybe I have, maybe I haven't. And he says, how can I make it so that you've seen him? It's so good.
He knows the game, and he's willing to pay out to win it.
Fuck yeah, dude.
And A-Qing's like, all right, well, let's play a little mini 20 questions, all right?
Maybe I've seen him,
and maybe
like,
I'll remember.
Yeah, he says, okay. And Wei Wuxian is like, why do you wait? Because they're gay, Wei Ying. Because they're gay.
Like,
sorry.
She asked, are you a friend? And he's like, yeah. And, like, it's really okay, Song Lan, because, she's probably been around gay people before. You can tell her.
Of course she's been around gay people before. Look who she's been living with for 2 years.
Yeah, for sure. You can just say, yeah, he's my ex-boyfriend. Like, it's fine.
It's not that hard.
And A-Qing just, like, starts rapid fire asking, do you really know this dude? How tall is he? Is he
what's
hot? He look like? Is he sexy? Is his sword cool?
And he's like, he's this tall, he's boo, whatever, his sword is frosty, it's cool.
And Song Lan, like, immediately answers every single question.
It's so good.
He's like, yeah, he's basically as tall as me, he's sexy as hell, his sword's really sick. I just, like, honestly, I wish that Song Lan would have, like, waxed poetic or something.
It would have been good.
About it, because A-Qing would have eaten that shit up.
Oh, yeah. But I also like that he's just, like, to the point.
He knows.
Because this is just, like, we get so little of him.
Yeah.
But we get so much characterization just through, like, the way he talks and the way he acts, and it's good.
Absolutely.
I feel like, it makes you forget that he's alive for all of, like, 4 pages in this entire novel. But she's like, all right, no, I got this, and she leads him over to the coffin house.
And he's like so fucking. He's been searching for Xiao Chen for years. For years and years. And suddenly there's this random ass blind girl who walks up and she's like, oh yeah, I hang out with him. I'll take you to him.
Yeah.
He's just like, thank you. His soul leaves his body.
Oh yeah.
And then
he
comes
ascends.
back.
He goes up into the air like Winnie the Pooh gif.
He does.
And
he's just like, he looks like fucking... He just, like, stands outside the coffin home and he, like, hesitates. He looks like, you know, he's completely geeked out. Mm-hmm. He's about to see his hot ex after so many years.
But then... he stops dead in his tracks and they look at the door.
And another guy walks inside before he can. Do you know who it is?
I think I know who it is. It's...
Xue Yang? Sorry about that, folks. That was a bad one.
Granddad. Fleetstones?
And Song Lan's soul leaves his body again.
Mm-hmm. For a different reason.
And A-Qing's just like, oh god, this asshole again.
Yeah, the annoying one is back.
Song Lan's like, why is he here? What is going on?
And A-Qing just goes, he's a bastard.
Yeah.
It's this whole thing. He's
this
this fucker.
Thing. He, like, never told us who he was. And he just, like, hangs around. Dao Zhang saved him. And now he's, like, super attached to Dao Zhang. He's an asshole. He's a pain in the neck.
He fucking sucks. I can't stand him.
And Song Lan, like, cannot decide whether he's, like, shocked or just angry as hell. And then he's just like, okay, shut up. And I wish A-Qing was mentally developed enough, aka an adult, for Song Lan to just tell her about how nasty Xue Yang is.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it wouldn't have done much in the long run. But
yeah, there would have had... Well, no, I mean...
It at least would have been a little more satisfying.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, like, there would have had to have been a lot of contextualizing for him to do, but there wouldn't be. He could have just been like, he's this fucker that we had a run-in with some years ago, and he killed all of my people, and he's the reason we split up. This fucking guy is supposed to be dead.
You better kill this guy as soon as you see him. This
guy is supposed to have been on death row. But he's out here for some fucking reason.
Listen to me when I say, fuck this guy.
Yeah. Because I'm sure she would have been like, yeah, dude, fuck this guy.
Yeah, let's go get him.
Yeah. What do you want me to do? Hold him down? I'll do it. I'll sit on him.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll sit on his face and fart, bitch. See if I care.
That's fucking right.
And,
oh my god. And so now, he goes in.
Someone did not check pair up to give him an awful waffle.
Yeah, oh god. So they hide in, like, a bush as Xue Yang goes in, and he starts talking with Xiao Chen, begging him to top this time.
God! Stop!
I'm sorry, I hate that I made that joke about this show.
I mean, you're kind of right.
Because they're both bottoms, so it's like...
What are you...
Literally, he's like, whose turn is it today?
I don't wanna.
And Xue Yang's like, hey, let's draw straws, alright? Which is a great game to suggest playing with a pushover blind guy.
Right. It's also a metaphor. So he,
It's a metaphor.
Yeah, so he of course says, oh, you pulled the short one, guess fucking whatever.
And Xiao Chen's like, oh, okay.
He just he's like, okay, I didn't really wanna, but alright, fine. And then Wei
Wuxian's like, alright, awesome. Like, if he comes outside, Song Lan can get him and just fucking get out of here.
Yeah.
I'm just always delighted by Wei Wuxian's interjections and his commentary.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like,
yep.
I'm every weighing. And Xue Yang's like, no, come back. I'll go. And that's the whim that ruined everything.
Mm-hmm. And this whole bit is, I just wrote, because he just decides. I don't know, he changed his mind. He just decided that he was gonna fess up and say, I tricked you. I coaxed you into a snafu. I did indeed lure you into a situation. And it's interesting that he has this moment, and it might be foreshadowing, which is a term we know.
It might be, but what I was actually thinking when I read it was that it might not have been too out of place for him, and we just haven't seen any of it, because A-Qing is always like, oh yeah, he just like does nothing but bully Daozhong and bully me and stuff, and like maybe this is just part of a pattern of behavior, and we just saw a taste of it, and it's not actually that out of the ordinary form to say it. And that was why it upset me as much as it did when I read it. You know, he's just like, are you an idiot?
Yeah. Because he is like...
He literally says, I'm just exploiting the fact that you can't see.
Yeah. What I'm saying is interesting is that it's just like, he is being honest isn't quite the right connotation, but he is telling the truth for once. He's like,
he's being forthright.
Yeah. He's saying, you know, here's my ruse. Here's my Joker's trick that I just played on you.
And Xiao Xingchen just sits there and fucking takes it.
Yeah.
He says nothing.
Yeah.
And, like, Xue Yang just laughs at him.
Yeah, he says, okay, I'll top. And then he fucking, yeah.
Wow.
Like, it's unbelievable. So.
Song Lan saw that, and he is just...
He is...
mad.
He is so fucking mad. So he starts asking A-Qing about, like, what all this is. He's like, what?
He almost...
Pardon me?
Yeah, and he almost calls him Xingchen, which is first name basis, baby.
Hey!
And A-Qing's like, I don't know, it's been like a couple of years.
Years?
Wow.
You ever live with somebody for 2 years and never ask their name?
No, yeah, that's it. Like, I always...
Why would I?
Why would I? That's not for me to know.
No.
That's their personal liberty.
Yeah.
That's their right.
I'm not going to infringe on his personal freedoms.
I'm not going to infringe on his freedom.
I know my boundaries.
Yeah, that's right.
It simply wouldn't be becoming of me.
That's it.
It's none of my business.
And do you also forget that the Yi City shenanigans lasted years?
How the fuck?
Years. But I think I mostly just can't believe it because of how unbelievable it is to me to just never ask for a motherfucker's name.
Yeah.
In 2 years of cohabitation.
Here's my main gripe with Yi City, and it's like, it's right there, and it's just such a minor thing. Why didn't A-Qing ever ask his name?
That's a great point.
I feel like if she had been the one to be like, well, he's not going to ask your name, but I want to know what your name is. You know, we at least would have gotten him trying to come up with something stupid, which I know we've talked about. Or she could have fucking coaxed him into a situation where Xiao Xingchen overhears or something. I don't fucking know. It could have been, it's just an opportunity, and I'm like, the only reason I can think of that she never asked his name, that she never, took it on herself to ask what his name is because she heard Xiao Xingchen saying to him the day they met, I'm not going to ask what your name is, that's your business. And just, like, had already by then drank enough Daozhong respecting juice to just, like, respect his wishes and also never learn his name. Which is weird and couldn't be me, but, like, it's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah. Yeah, I really can't think of a valid reason.
Or she definitely does not like him giving her a stupid nickname. So, like, maybe she's pointedly not learning his name to, like, punish him, kind of, to, like, get back at him,
As
like,
a flex, yeah.
Yeah, as a flex. Yeah, weird flex, but okay. Like, you're not gonna use my name, then I'm not even gonna bother learning yours. Fuck you.
Yeah, really.
I don't know, those are the only things.
You get what you give.
Like, yeah, you get what you give. But it's just, if, like, I don't know, if that's the one thing that, like, I have to really super kind of put my mind on to justify in all of this, because everything else I'm just like, oh my god, I'm watching this and there's, like, no way I can see this happening in any way other than a humongous disaster, which is correct.
Yeah.
But that's the one thing where I'm like...
It's hard to suspend your disbelief.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly. But yeah, anyway, so he... Can I say something a little spicy? Yeah.
I think this might be one of the weakest arcs in the novel.
Kinda agree with you.
I think that if she wanted to have this story in the form that she put it in the novel, she should have made a separate novel for it. Because there are some really great parts. A-Qing is a great character. You know, I'm sure Xue Yang can be in the novel anyway, even if this whole thing were a separate novel. I don't like it. I really don't like it, and it's so harrowing to read through.
It's not a pleasant read.
It's not pleasant. It just makes you sad. It's just a bummer.
Yeah.
You know? And there's no happy ending to it. It's just like a tragic tale. Mm-hmm. And I understand that a lot of this might be personal preference, but I really don't think that this particular story in the permutation or whatever that it's in needed to be in this novel. Yeah. Because it's weak to me. Mm-hmm. I don't enjoy it. But I'm sorry for bringing down the vibe.
I do understand why it's in here.
I know, I do too.
And I also, like, for me, I definitely know that it's a personal preference of mine, or like I feel more like on my end that it's a personal preference. Because like one of my big pet peeves in all media has always, even when I was like super little, has always been situations where like the character that I'm rooting for, you know, I just know they're being railroaded, you know, into the bad shit. You know, I've always hated, like, the characters that, like, just are unpleasant and always win, you know? Yeah, I hate that shit. That shit always made me so fucking mad. And it's like, I know it's supposed to make me mad, but I don't like being mad. You know?
I don't like it either.
I don't like being mad.
I don't take pleasure in characters like this. I don't enjoy reading about them.
If I want a show of hands... retroactive digital show of hands. Do you hate being mad? How much do you hate being mad? How do you feel about the Yi City arc? Because I feel like those three things are going to be correlated.
Yeah, that. I think that'd be a pretty accurate prediction.
The less you like being mad, the more likely you are to not enjoy this particular read. It's not fun. It's the same shit. Like, sorry about it, but I'm also not a roller coaster person. I know that's a different thing. Like,
I don't like torture porn.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
I understand there are people who do like it. Listen, get your fucking life. I don't like it, and I can't wait for this arc to be over. Anyway,
2 more chapters.
Let's move on because I'm kind of sleepy.
Yeah, you silly bitch. We get a bit about some more fucking zombie cows, whatever. She tells him about, like, what they're night hunting for.
Yeah, she's like, and she knows what it is, but she can't give away the fact that she's not blind. And she's like, oh, walking corpses or whatever. But that's just weird ghosts and funny undead animals. Zombie cows
funny
and shit.
Undead comedy animals.
And Song Lan is like a jilted ex asking about Xiao Xingchen's new friends. He's like, is he like, are they like close?
Are they like,
how close would you say they are? Like, do they like hang out? Like, do they go on, like, outings?
Are they, like...
Have you seen him, like, hug or, like, kiss?
Like...
I just want to know for Dao Zhang's own safety.
Yeah, like, I'm not, like, jealous. I'm not
jealous. I'm just curious.
Yeah, I'm just, like, trying to get a, feel for the whole situation. I'm normal about it.
Yeah, and A-Qing's like, oh, well, he hates being alone, so, like, there's another cultivator around now, and I think he just likes listening to this idiot talk.
Yeah, and boy does he ever fucking talk, and Song Lan gets very mad.
Song Lan gets mad as fuck, and he just, like...
He says, don't tell him I'm jealous.
Don't tell him I'm jealous, don't tell him about me. And he stalks over towards where Xue Yang left. Yeah,
he just fucking teleports. He's like, leaves. Bye.
He leaves, and A-Qing's like, hey, are you gonna go kick his ass? I'm forever mourning the fact that of all the things that happened in Modazushi, Song Lan tanning Xue Yang's hide was never one of them.
God, I fucking wish.
It could have happened so many times.
I fucking wish. Wei Wuxian forgets that he's intelligent and is like, he's gonna kill him, which is exactly why Xue Yang is alive in the present in One Piece.
Yeah, that's
Save for one pinky, alive in two pieces.
He just gets so invested in it, you know? You just kind of lose track of reality. Bad. And so there Xue Yang is, he's got all the vegetables, and A-Qing, like, takes a shortcut, and so she can watch the carnage as it unfolds, and hides in a bush and stuff, and so... Here comes Song Lan.
Yep, here he comes.
He calls Xue Yang the fuck out.
Oh, yeah.
And Xue Yang just, like, completely, like, goes mask off.
Oh, yeah.
Evil boy mode.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, oh my god, the one time I wanted to shop for food, I get stopped by one of you stupid motherfuckers.
This fucking, like... Fucking Xue Yang is like, oh, it's Dao Zhang's song. And, like, what if he, like, leaves Song Lan open to do, like, such a cool one-liner, and Song Lan doesn't do it? I wish he had done, like, balls in his court. He could have given, like, such a good one-liner comeback, but no. Instead, they just do the JoJo walking towards each other face-off.
Yeah.
And Xue Yang becomes intolerable again. Song Lan's like, what are you doing near Xiaoyu? What the fuck is this about? And Xue Yang just, shut the fuck up, Yang, I'm so tired of you! He's like, I was wondering if you still had business with me.
So, you want to ask me about this?
Oh.
And Song Lan's I mean, fucking Xue Yang is goading him, obviously. Song Lan's like, just fucking tell me! Why would you try to help him night hunt? That's not like you at all. You're an asshole.
Yeah.
You've never been nice to a single person in your life.
What have you helped ever?
And Xue Yang's like, oh, you know me too well.
God.
Jesus Christ.
And he, like, Song Lan actually, like, gets a couple, cuts in on him, and that makes Xue Yang mad.
It doesn't though. His expression, he's completely... neutral, like he'd never gotten stabbed at all.
He does go Joker mode though, and he starts goading, and he's like, some things shouldn't be made known. Some things I'm not gonna tell you about. I'm not gonna say what they are.
And Song Lan's just like, fucking out with it already.
Song Lan's like, ooh. Because that's how you get to somebody, is insinuate some shit.
Oh, that's it. And Xue Yang's like, well, if you really want to hear about it, you know what your bestest friend did? And he's like, he killed lots and lots of walking corpses, exorcisms everywhere, and he did it at no cost to anybody.
Hey, remember when he gave you his eyes?
Remember when he gave you his eyes? Like, it's cool that Strongfa can, like, get that corpse vibe for him. But you know what else is cool? Like, I figured out that it can't tell between an actual walking corpse and a corpse-poisoned living human being.
Isn't that funny?
And like, oh my gosh. Get this. If you cut out their tongues before you unleash the Daojang on them, he doesn't know that they're alive. That is so
Oh my god, Song Lan is so fucking mad. And so am I.
Oh god, I'm sick to my fucking stomach. Sick to my motherfucking tummy.
So he's
just like, you're a goddamn vile, nasty monster.
You nasty bitch. And Xue Yang is like, come on, insult me better. Oh my god.
It's almost like they're all trying to tell him something. That he's a goddamn monster. I'm sorry, you don't need more words to call somebody a monster.
Yeah, sometimes that's all you goddamn is.
It'd just satisfy him more anyway. And Song Lan is just, it says he's in a towering rage.
He's so fucking mad.
He's so fucking mad. He aims, he does big fatal aim, and he's like, you insulted his honor.
Oh yeah, you insulted his booze honor. So he fucking
fooled him.
Yep. Coaxed him into a snafu.
You coaxed him into a snafu, and I'm not having with it.
Absolutely not.
And, of course, Xue Yang manages to avoid this.
Yeah.
And he's like, what do you mean his blindness? You don't even get to bring that up. You don't have the right.
Yep. And so he keeps going on, and he's just goading him, and he's telling him their own backstory.
Yeah, he knows exactly what to say to completely disarm Song Lan. And that's more terrifying than him orchestrating murder by proxy.
Oh, yeah.
To me.
Oh, yeah.
Because he just knows exactly what to say.
Yep.
To not only drive Song Lan into a rage, but also make it so that he just shuts down, basically. Blue screen of death, you know?
Yeah. I wonder where he could have learned such potent manipulation tactics. Probably nowhere.
Wow, that's weird. It's basically like, he's with me now, get over it thing.
Jesus.
And Song Lan just like, he wavers a little bit, and that's when Xue Yang comes in with that corpse poisoning powder.
He fucking pocket sands him.
And this is yet another climb section of the endless dread roller coaster of this chapter.
We hate it.
And you know what? It's only down from here.
Yep. I do want to go back for a second, because as Xue Yang is like goading Song Lan and going through the whole, everything that happened between Song Lan and Xiaoyu.
Yeah.
This is where we find out that, like, after Xue Yang murdered everybody at Song Lan's temple, Xiaoyu like went to help Song Lan out and, be a buddy or whatever, and Song Lan just, like, in his grief, basically told him, fuck off, I don't want to see you anymore. And, like, I wonder if saying hurtful things in the moment and regretting them and that ending up badly for everybody is going to be, like, kind of a theme.
Is that a theme, do you think?
I think it might be a theme? Am I saying that right?
A theme?
A them? A them?
A them?
A they theme pronoun?
Oh, now I know you're really saying it right.
Yeah.
A them.
A them. But yeah, Xue Yang pocket sands Song Lan. Song Lan goes to cough it up, and Xue Yang goes, let me have some of that tongue.
He gets in there.
He gets right
just
on
goes
in swipe.
There.
Yep.
With Zhang's eye. Just swip by tongue.
Yep.
Horrible. And A-Qing, the vision goes dark because she closes her eyes because she's scaled. And that's, that's pretty much, that's pretty much it for Song Lan at this point.
Yep.
And A-Qing, bless her, she really hangs in there.
Mm-hmm.
And she sees Song Lan, he's
bleeding.
He's bleeding really bad, and he tries to still
get one last bit in on...
Get one last swipe in, and Xue Yang is loving it.
He is smiling.
And I'll tell you why. It's because Xianghua is right there behind him. It goes...
Yep. I can hear the clanging sword noise, the sh.
Yep. It turns him into a kebab.
We hate to see it.
And here's the thing that made me the saddest in this chapter was this one where Xiaoyu who says, wasn't at all aware of the situation. He goes, are you there? And the next line is, Song Lan moved his lips soundlessly.
Fuck off.
Fuck off. I kept making, like, angry notes, and I'm just now realizing how uncomfortable, just, like, the feeling of total futility in this arc makes me. It just makes me uncomfortable.
It fucking sucks.
I hate to experience it.
God. And Xiaoyu, he pulls up and he says, I saved the day! And fucking...
Wow, it's so weird that there was just one walking corpse here. He must have wandered in from somewhere else. And Xue Yang's like, probably. Oh, it's making such terrible noises. Let's just go back inside.
He refers to him as it.
Yeah, it. Just pain. Straight up pain to me in my... And, you know, it's like Song Lan... It notes that Song Lan could just hand his sword to Xiao Chen and he'd be able to recognize it. But God... Imagine what that would do to Xiao Chen at this point, because Song Lan is completely beyond saving. And, this is probably one of the most genuinely fucked scenes that I've read in a book in a long time.
Fuck this arc. Like, this whole thing fucking sucks.
It's awful. It's such a book.
Sorry this episode isn't fun, but this chapter isn't fun.
I have no idea on how to spin this in a comical way.
Yeah. That's what the Google Translate Essence collection is here for.
Yep, that's
And the
it.
questions. Thank you, listeners, for saving us.
Thank you, listeners, for the questions.
Questions. Anyway, it's din-din time. Fuck this.
They go eat dinner, and as Xue Yang walks by the corpse of Song Lan, he goes, "No food for you." Oh my god, it just boils my fucking blood.
Oh god, I'm so mad. Ugh.
So Ah-Ching goes up to Song Lan after those two are way gone. Mm-hmm. And she just she starts, sort of prostrating to him a little bit and paying her respects because...
And, apologizing because she feels like she got him into this because she led him here. And I forgot she did this, that she vows to him that Xue Yang must die. Xue Yang is Pokemon going to die.
He has to die.
He has to die.
She asks for his spirit to bless her on her journey to mutilate this man.
Yeah, cut him into pieces so that he never enters reincarnation again.
Please God. Please God.
Yep.
So she gets back eventually, and Xue Yang is just in a wonderful mood.
He's cutting apple slices into bunnies.
Making some snacks, and she comes back, and Xiao Chen's like, "Oh my god, where have you been, girl? It's late." And Ah-Ching's eyes are all swollen from crying, and over this extremely traumatic event, and Xue Yang immediately gets a little bit suspicious.
Yep. He's like, "Nobody bully her, come on."
Yeah, Xiao Chen is worried that somebody bullied her.
And this is another part where Ah-Ching is just so fucking smart.
She's just as quick-witted as Xue Yang here, if not more.
Yeah.
And she just, she turns it into, she got bullied on the street for being ugly, and she doesn't know whether she's ugly because she's blind.
Oh, which, of course, she isn't ugly. She's a character in a Mo Tangshu novel.
Yeah, exactly. And Xiao Chen's like, "Oh my god, of course not, you're so beautiful." And Xue Yang's like, "No, you're ugly. You're even uglier when you cry." And Xiao Chen is just like, "Oh, don't do that." This is like when somebody's being a bigot in public loudly, and their friends are just like, "Oh, hey, come on, stop,
come on." Oh, he's just like that. He's from a different era. Fuck off with this.
Please just end it. Oh my god! And
stop this.
And so she turns her crying and swollen eyes into this teen tantrum basically. And she asks if Xiao Chen has any money left because she wants to go, shopping for treats and tchotchkes later to make her more beautiful.
She wants him to take her to ancient Chinese vampire time Sephora.
Yeah.
She needs to get her skin tone matched. She's got to be looking good.
And Xiao Chen's like, "Yeah, but I'm probably not going to be much help." Xue Yang immediately interjects and invites himself. He's like, "Yep, I can do it." And Ah-Ching immediately shoots it down. She's like, no, I don't want it. I don't want you next to me at all. All he'll say is that I'm ugly and he'll call me little blind. And the way that she has valid, inarguable reasons for him not to come because he's demonstrably an abusive piece of shit.
Oh, yeah.
It being a perfect alibi, we love it.
Yeah, and this is more of her being a fuking genius because, legitimately she's so fucking smart because not only is she turning this around to hide any, or to get rid of any suspicion that Xue Yang might have, she's also using this to find a way to isolate Xiao Chen to finally be like, this guy's gotta go.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's been over 2 years.
2 fucking years!
Where this hasn't happened. It's crazy.
She's gotta get him to the ancient Chinese vampire times Ulta so that they can talk this out and get rid of this fucking idiot.
Like, her and Xue Yang are playing fucking 4D chess right now.
Absolutely.
And so Xue Yang...
She's playing 4D chess. He's playing fucking baby-sized checkers.
He's playing Go Fish.
He's playing...
Just, like, and so Xue Yang... she starts, like, muttering about this, like, rude-ass girl who suppositely insulted her in town.
Yeah, first, Xue Yang is like, everything's closed tonight, you're not gonna be able to do it, and she's whatever, we'll do it tomorrow. So, like, they have to have dinner, and she's mad the whole time because she has to be in the presence of this fucking asshole. So she's mad and taking it out on her food, and she's mad, and she's also, like, really scared of him. Oh, yeah.
So she's kind of trembling, and... she just, like, kind of pretends that she's too mad about getting bullied earlier to really want to eat. But in actuality, she's just totally just fucking shaken up by what she saw today and how scared it made her. And, so Xue Yang loses interest in her.
Yeah.
He realizes that, you know, she doesn't have anything going on, supposedly. And then he moves his gaze, as always, to Xiao Chen.
Yeah.
Which, you know, being regular, staring endlessly and unblinkingly at the guy he wants to torture and kill for years.
It's normal.
Endlessly. For hours on it.
It's normal, and if you watch The Untamed and the way he stares at him, it's romantic, and he's in love with him. I hate everything.
Yeah.
Fucking, so, like, Xiao Chen...
He doesn't look at all like he wants to fucking eat him.
Yeah.
Anyway.
God.
Xiao Chen, blissfully oblivious, as always.
he gets up to do the dishes, and then,
And Xue Yang calls A-Qing by her name.
Yeah.
Which freaks her the fuck out, because he always just calls her Little Blind.
She goes... Mm-hmm.
And she's like, okay, what the fuck is this about? And he's like, oh, well, didn't you say yourself that, you know, you don't want people calling you Little Blind? I'm just like, doing what you asked me to.
I'm, like, trying to grow and change.
And A-Qing's like, yeah, this smells.
Yeah, this fucking smells.
This stinks. I don't like it. Yeah. Why? What do you want? And Xue Yang's like, no, I just wanna give you a little, like a life lesson. Yeah. Give you a little advice for the next time somebody bullies you.
We'll teach you normal, regular things to do. And he tells her, it's so weird, like...
If someone calls you ugly, then make her even uglier.
He tells her, this is so fucking weird, because it's like...
It's weird. It's weird because I think, like, given that he lost interest and, like, I think clearly is buying her act that she was bullied. Yeah.
I think he's genuinely trying to be nice to her. Yeah. But he's doing it in the only way he knows how, which is fucked up and violent.
Yeah, because he exists in this world of his own creation where you can just fuck somebody up forever as punishment for basically any wrongdoing because ethics don't matter, morals don't matter. Oh, yeah. He was never taught those kinds of bases of human function.
Yeah, all he knows is murder for survival. All he knows
is violence and murder and payback and
and being petty.
And so he doesn't see anything horrible or fucked up with what he's saying to her. And she's like, oh my god, you're just trying to scare me. And Xue Yang just says, well, think what you want.
Xue Yang says, I'm sorry you feel that way.
And I'm just sorry that you felt that way.
Yeah. And then he gives her the rest of the cutesy little bunny apples.
And she fucking hates it. Mm-hmm. Both A-Qing and Wei Wuxian hate it.
Yep.
They're disgusted. Never has Wei Wuxian been more of a reader surrogate for this.
Oh yeah,
for this arc than right.
I've never been more upset at a bunny-shaped thing. How dare you do this to bunnies?
It just makes me so angry.
God.
And so A-Qing,
the next day
keeps up on it tomorrow. The next day,
and Xiao Chen roll Lance, and they're gonna go shopping, and
And Xue Yang is like, oh my god, does that mean I have to buy the food again? And Ah-Ching's like, yeah, fucking hop to it.
Yeah,
Hello?
cry about it. Chip, chop, chip.
You're the one who fucks with him all the time, huh?
Yeah.
Once again, using the fact that Xue Yang is an irredeemable chud is a valid excuse.
God.
Xue Yang's like, all right, so he leaves, and Ah-Ching like takes a little while to do her thing. She just needs to make sure that he's gone. Mm-hmm. And so Xiao Chen comes in to check on her, and she's like, Dao Zhang, do you know somebody named Xue Yang?
Ding, 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 ding.
Ding, 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 ding. And that's the end of the chapter,
That's
folks.
the end of the goddamn chapter at last. We'll see what happens next time in chapter 41.
41.
Grasses Part 9, the penultimate one. We're almost done with this damn arc.
Oh, thank God. I'm so
Holy
tired.
Lord.
I'm sorry, but I'm so tired of this.
I'm so fucking tired. Let's get right into the Google Translate Essence Collection because we need some levity.
We need some levity.
Get some levity going. It's levity time. Do you
know
want to...
it?
Let's do this. So I have 3 of them today. 3 of them. 3 of them. The first 2 are from the same fic. And then the the third one is from a different thing. So the first 2...
The first 2, I guess that fic was just too good to be left alone.
Now, the first one had such a good thing in it that I said, okay, this can't possibly be a standalone instance of shit that makes me laugh. So I had to... Because I've noticed that sometimes when I translate a fic, it comes out like
It just
fine.
blesses you.
Yeah, well,
sometimes.
sometimes they come out fine, and I'm like, okay, this isn't super funny.
Mm-hmm.
And then other times, it comes out funny right out the gate, and I have to keep looking.
Yeah.
Because I know there's gonna be more shit like that, because Google took a look at it and said, I don't know what the fuck this is, I'm just gonna give you whatever nonsense comes out of my dome piece. So that's what we have with these 2 today.
They just like half-ass it, like it's the end of your night of studying, and you just kind of do whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, you get the gist.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go to bed.
Yeah. Seriously, it's like, look, dude, I don't know what you want from me, okay? They're just putting symbols in here. I don't know what this is.
I'm gonna go have a cigarette, shotgun a beer, and pass the fuck out. I'll see you tomorrow. Maybe in
Exactly.
2 days, depending on when I wake up.
I think that's exactly what happened with these first 2 selections, because fun fact about these first 2, and we're not going to get into the discourse about this genre of fic, because it's not really relevant to why these bits are funny. It's just kind of an extra bit of flavor behind it. These are from an ABO fic.
You know how it is.
Oh yeah. Just, like I said, it's not necessary to why these are funny. It's just kind of a nice little, it's like adding red pepper flakes to your marinara. You don't need to do it, but it just adds a little bit of spice,
Little zazz.
Yeah, it's gonna taste perfectly fine without, but sure, why not? Sometimes, yeah. So anyway.
That's how I feel about ABO.
So all I know about this first bit is that it's the first paragraph of this shit, and I'm laughing about it, so...
All right.
Yeah, clear that throat.
Xue Yang used to be a Dikun, but now he is also a Dikun.
Huh.
However, he has been a Dikun for decades, but he still hangs on him. Those coons who wagging their tails and begging in his eyes are wastes that are not as good as dogs. Only those who live on their own can be called humans, and since they are all called humans, then there is a distinction between a shit and a god.
Xue Yang's manifesto.
We're really fucking getting there.
I like he used to be this, but now he's also this.
He's the same thing. He just spiced it up a little bit.
He's the same thing, just kind of, you know how it is. It's this whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've all been there.
Oh yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Who wagging their tails.
These coons.
These coons. Right? I hate when that happens. So
Hey, if the alphas are coons, the omegas better be samas. You feel me?
Jesus fucking Christ.
Horrible. Sorry, I'm sorry. We're not going to talk about it.
Yeah. To be fair, I don't know which thing this refers to.
Me
so
neither.
Fuck if I know.
It's funny to me, though.
I don't know. Whichever one you think is wagging their tails and begging more. So I guess
It's alphas. I mean,
that's just Binghay. So listen to She's a Good iPad.
if we ever release another episode,
So this next one, obviously, like I said, is from the same fic. This is later on in it, but God help me if I have any idea what happened between the last bit and this. It was one of these.
Oh,
so,
yeah. It seems that on this night alone, the things that he did defy in the first 2 decades have become the clown act. All stubbornness and perseverance were lost to the absurd and rigid rules formulated by the right men. Those are like quote unquote. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's very good because that seems very in line with his style of talking.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the clown act.
The clown act. That's capitalized. Like it's starting another sentence. The clown act.
I need to know what the clown act is. I mean, other than the obvious of putting on your tactical clown nose and going out and doing business, doing clown business.
It's simping.
Is it simping?
That corporation's not gonna fuck you, buddy. I think that was Paige's joke.
Thanks, Paige.
Thanks,
Paige. One night alone. That's all it takes for you to flip that switch and become the clown act.
No, that was 10 minutes, 5 minutes alone. One night alone. Clown act.
The clown act. The clown act.
It's the clown act.
The clown act. The ultimate clown act.
The ultimate clown act.
The clown act right now is my nose ring being goofy. Yeah.
It's being a clown. I had to fix it like a monkey grooming their partner.
That's what we do. We just sit here picking at each other like a pair of apes.
Like a pair of lemurs.
Just lesbian bonobos.
No, we're definitely lemurs, because lemurs are matriarchal, so we would definitely be lesbian lemurs picking at each other as a sign of social status. I'm pretty sure that's a thing.
There are lesbian bonobos documented.
There are lesbian every kind of animal documented, pretty much, because I'll tell you what.
Animals be gay.
Animals be gay. People just be gay sometimes,
Sometimes people just be gay, and sometimes animals be gay.
Sometimes animals be gay, sometimes critters be gay.
Sometimes critters be gay.
Listen,
Critters? You hear about critters? Critters be gay.
Critters? I don't know. I believe it, but I'm a little worried about it.
Gay critters.
Let's get into this third one.
Yeah, so this last one is short. It's from something else, so we're going in a different direction this time. You don't need context for this. Just read it.
Well, wow.
Okay. Yeah, just trust me on this one. Yeah. All right.
The man named Song Lan was looking through the scrolls as expected, and A-Qing thought, "It's a nerd." It's a nerd.
It's a nerd. Okay.
Oh, it's a nerd. Of course.
Joth and a nerd? And he got feet?
Dream man.
Get yourself a man who can do both.
Have feet. Be nerd.
Be Joth.
Goth.
Look through scroll. Twerk, eat hot chip, and lie.
Yeah. That's just kind of a listing of my perfect man, which is pretty accurate because a man like that does not exist in real life. So there you have it.
I love this so much because it's such a good microcosm of these two.
Yeah.
Like, it canonically...
a nerd.
Like,
a nerd.
Just fondly... Oh, a nerd. Fondly and accepting.
Haha, nerd.
Haha, nerd.
Huh.
Yeah, crack open that bad boy.
That cold one.
That cold one.
It's like actually a cold one and not just a seltzer
It
one.
is. Look at that. It's like, it's got the condensation on it. Ooh, that looks nice. Oh, that looks nice.
Obiru.
Obiru. God damn, I need to start putting my sodies in the fridge. God damn, that looks good.
It's a concept.
I'm
sorry.
Ice cold sody.
Listen, I'm the type of person who will drink tap water straight from the sink with no ice or anything, just because sometimes a bitch needs to hydrate, and I don't really have a preference. But sometimes you treat yourself with a glass of ice water or a nice cold obiru. Obiru. And, you realize that it's good and that you're kind of an idiot who tortures themselves.
Damn.
But hey, that's what being a millennial is all about. Am I right, folks?
That is kind of what being a millennial is all about.
So anyway,
yeah.
Do we have some questions?
We got some questions. Let's go into those. If you got questions, you can go ahead and send them to cloudrecesspod at Twitter or cloudrecessespod.tumblr.com/ask. Those are the things.
It is a thing.
Yeah, we got a few. So let's go to Twitter first, because that's the one that I have open. And don't let me forget that we have one in our inbox. Somebody done slid into our DMs, so we have that. Yeah,
our DMs.
Mm-hmm.
All right, fine folks asking questions this time around. It's always fine folks, though.
Oh yeah.
Our friend Ask Joveri asked if the juniors were in a stereotypical high school movie as opposed to ancient vampire times, who do you think would be each stereotype? Who is the protagonist, the dumb jock, the nerd, etc.? I think we've answered a question along these lines concerning, like, The Breakfast Club, which is a great movie representation of those stereotypes just completely personified, which love that. But in this case, a stereotypical high school movie.
Because we're focusing on the juniors, right?
Yeah, the juniors. The protagonist, the dumb jock, the nerd. I think there are so few juniors that we can slim it down to protagonist, dumb jock, nerd, and the edgy one. So I think that the protagonist is Lan Jingyi. Unlikely protagonist, because you think that Jin Liang is the protagonist at first.
Oh, I have my own thoughts.
I don't know.
How about you go through yours and I'll go through mine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Xue is the nerd.
Mm-hmm.
Man, actually, no, I think Jingyi is the dumb jock. I'm thinking about it. Jin Liang is the protagonist that you love to hate. And Ouyang Xishen is, actually, no, Ouyang Xishen is the nerd. And Xishui is like the weird alt one.
Oh my god.
But like, it's just because his dad is a witch and it's all he knows. Wei Wuxian sending his son to school in like a pentagram t-shirt.
Oh my god.
He just was raised on his dad's commune. So he thinks that black metal is just kind of like a normal one for a child. Yeah, same, honestly. We're very similar in that respect, and I forget about that all the time, but
me going up to the first grade teacher, y'all like thrash metal? Fucking
God!
See, now mine is basically the same, except I got my nerd and my edgelord switched.
Okay.
Ouyang Zijin is he's edgy, not because he himself is edgy, but because he's drawn to edginess. He's not about to do it himself because that's just not him and he knows who he is.
Yeah.
But Lord, if he isn't devoted to a GameStop goth GF, you know? We've talked about this.
He loves an e-girl. Don't we all?
Don't we all? He's the knight putting the cloak around the princess and its big titty GameStop girl.
God! Yes.
Yeah.
Really like it. Oh god, I would like to see it.
I would like to see it.
A movie with the juniors in high school with the...
Can I add?
Yes.
I really want Dumb Jock Jingyi because I want it to be him when he grows up and he's sect leader himbo.
I love it.
I love him I just love the idea of him having, like, a late bloomer growth spurt.
Oh, God, absolutely.
Yeah, and he ends up, like, 6'2", like all of the other lawns, and he's hunky, and he's just no thoughts, head empty, scared of Ghost.
I just, you know what, on that note, I think we've talked about this a little bit before, but I think it's just so much more interesting of like a narrative choice to pick him for the next sect leader instead of Lan Zixue, because I think it's just like so obvious that Lan Zixue is being primed for this, but I don't know. I think that Jingyi would be a better representation of how the elder Lan brothers changed the Lan clan.
Yeah.
In the moderner times.
Yeah. Plus, he's gotta know more about discipline than Xue does because he's been on the receiving end of it so much.
Yeah, exactly.
I saw, this is less about him becoming the next sect leader and more about him just growing up to be big. I saw...
I'm your next president.
And I just got signed to
Forehead
Band Records.
Forehead Band Records.
I saw a comic one time about, like, him, his hair getting really long, and he, like, he still has it in his little ponytail, and he, like, every time he whips his head around, he slaps somebody with it, and that's why he had to cut it, and that's why he has kind of a shorter
baby. He's
hair,
cute.
and it's very cute. I want that combined with him being big. I really just like the idea of him being the shortest now, but in, like, 5 years, he's just a head taller than everybody else. I want it so bad.
Just big and
big.
Dumb.
Yeah.
And with a heart full of love.
And nobody's angrier about it than Jin Liang.
Absolutely.
We're looking at Baby Cat and she's being a perfect loaf.
She's melting.
She's
into
melting.
The kitty tree.
She's like you took a brick of ice cream out and just let it sit on the counter. Kitty.
Closing her eyes for a little bit.
Just
having a bit of a nap.
The perfect.
There's a good baby. Okay.
I'm gonna take a picture of her and post it as the accompanying image to this episode because it's that good.
She's the most beautifulest. I don't know what to say.
Kitty.
So we have one more question from our pal Elvier.
Yeah.
They ask, we're always talking about Jiggy apology video, but what if someone forced Xue Yang to make one? How bad would that be? This unapologetic asshole doesn't even know how to pronounce sorry without adding sorry that you're a little bitch to it.
God.
Listen, okay, that video that we watched, what was it, last night? About that horrible Animal Crossing YouTuber?
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
Brycelyn, that crazy, super right-wing Christian conservative girl who, kicked people off of her server for being gay or talking about LGBT stuff.
Just saying I'm a lesbian.
Or just saying I'm a lesbian, and then there were people in her comments section like, hey, it's not actually, are you saying it's bad? No, they said it's not bad to be gay. And
she says thinking it's right is or something.
Yes. And
girl.
Ooh, and it just in the entire apology video because she basically got called out for all of this awful shit.
Yeah, there was more to it than this.
Ago.
Yeah,
way more.
Oh yeah, and way that's
horrible.
Bad in and of itself, but there was even worse shit, reprehensible. But
yeah, talking about animal abuse stuff.
Yeah.
It was bad, and just the entire video was a complete non-apology.
Yeah,
it was so incredible. It was so,
just her being sorry you feel that way. So much for the intolerant left, basically.
Yeah, it was so much manipulative, fucking non-apology ass bullshit. Oh, it was some sociopathic shit. But I definitely imagine Xue Yang having that kind of vibe where this stuff has come to light. It's pretty much impossible for him to directly
deny it
because it's so clear. People are out here calling him a bigot and a murderer because it's obvious that he has murdered people and is a horrible person. And he's
they're showing the receipts. They have the screenshots.
He's well, I just...
I'm sorry you feel that way, but
I'm sorry you feel that way, but we just live very different lives.
And clearly. I prefer, I'm here to talk about one subject and not that. I'm not here to make it political. I also see this as kind of kind of that recent Jeffree Star quote-unquote apology. Like, I don't hate Song Lan, okay, but like...
But he is super uptight, and he, like, always gets into my business, and he's kind of a piece of shit about it. But, like, we're, like, so close. Like, we talk all the time.
Yeah, and, like, I think the things that he's doing are really important.
And, like, listen, don't get me wrong. Xiaoyu Chen and I, such good terms, really wonderful.
We're like this.
Like, crossing my little fingies. But he's such a pushover, and, like, he's such a bitch. And I just, like, really wish I could see him dead. But, like, we're so close. Like, he's so great.
He's such a sweetheart.
I'm just, oh my god, it's so fun.
Oh, God.
Oh, God. I just, like...
I'm
he just,
vomiting.
like, does not even realize that the things that he has done are bad things.
No.
He refuses to label himself as a murderer or whatever for it, at least publicly, and finds multiple ways to skirt around it through wordplay because, God, he might have the mentality of a however-year-old, 8-year-old, 9-year-old, but,
He's learned from the best.
yes, he has learned from the best.
Who? I cannot wait to get into that shit because I got some thoughts. Anyway.
So excited.
It's so fun.
So, the person who slid into our DMs, a pal B, thank you B, at Paraluna_BTS, says, greetings. First of all, I just wanted to say I'm glad you guys are surviving this insane year. Thanks for giving me doses of serotonin with this pod. You are welcome. We are glad to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, I have a question for you guys. We know that cultivators can sometimes have some really cool or poetic titles, like Han Guangjun, the Venerated Triads titles, Sandu Shengshou, Cool Moon and Gentle Breeze, etc. But Wei Ying's only real title, other than the one in the novel's name, is Yiling Patriarch, which doesn't really apply when he's not in Yiling anymore, I don't think. So my question is, if Wei Wuxian hadn't gone down the path of demonic cultivation, what title do you think he would have gotten? And if Wang Shan had a duo title like the Twin Jades of Lan or the Prides of Yunmeng, what name do you think they would have? My first instinctual thought, and I'm going to say this before I forget about it, is their duo title having something to do with, like, yin yang, basically. You know?
Smiling.
Grinning and smiling.
Smiling and grinning. Him by himself. Damn, if he hadn't gone...
See, that's what I have more trouble with.
Yeah, because here's the thing about Modao. It's one of these things. It's one of the few... Like, I felt this way about Full Metal Alchemist. It's one of these properties where the story is so tightly constructed and the events are just so logical that I almost can't see there being a way for him to avoid going down that road.
Like, I've read plenty of fan fiction.
Oh, I'm sure, but, like, logically, like, given the shit that happens in his life, given the paths, given just the shit that happens, like, the way one thing leads to another, it's
inevitable.
Like, yeah, it just feels so inevitable, and I have a really hard time, like, not that I think that, like, writing AUs where it doesn't happen is bad or whatever. Like, I love it. I fucking love that shit. But, like, in that universe itself, I'm like, damn, that's just how it's gonna be, you know?
I fucking guess.
Yeah.
I feel that, I think...
Damn.
Maybe if he had been able to, you know, not go down that path, he maybe would have had something having to do with how... like silver-tongued he is or whatever, or how quick-witted.
Yeah.
You know?
I can see, like, I feel like it would depend on where he ends up within the Jiang sect. Because I feel like if he had his druthers, no matter what, he would be there.
Yeah,
like, unless there are outside circumstances that pull him away from there, for whatever reason, the way he was, like, forced to defect or whatever, basically, where he, not necessarily forced, but, like, reached a point where he was like, I gotta do this, I feel like he would be there, and it's a matter of, like, what his position is there, and what the people... Because that's kind of like what these titles are all about. It's like, how do the people see you? So depending on where he is in the sect, that's kind of what's going to determine what his title is, because that's how people perceive him. And
for sure, and I think...
And we know people have some thoughts about him being a servant's kid and being the disciple there to begin with.
So I think eventually if Zhangcheng had, gone on to become sect leader without all of that, well, maybe not without all of that horrible, horrible shit happening, but with it happening maybe in a different way, that wouldn't have, necessitated Wei Wuxian, I think that Wei Wuxian would have become his right-hand man, maybe in higher standing than a servant, considering his upbringing. I know the public perception is what we're focusing on, but it probably would have had something to do with him, being a real good right-hand man or something. I don't know. I don't think after Zhangcheng takes the throne, so to speak, that he would make an effort to bring undue attention on himself.
Yeah. I think...
And just kind of sink into the role.
I don't know. I feel like no matter what the title is, if he had a title, like, foisted upon him, I feel like no matter what it is, I feel like he wouldn't necessarily go along with it. Because, like, he is kind of hesitant, he is kind of resistant to the title of Yiling Patriarch to begin with. And I feel like with this, if he's like, let's say he is in a position where he's Zhangcheng's right-hand man. He's his guy. I know a guy.
This is my guy.
I feel like he's gonna disavow whatever title people give him, because that's yet another moment where people are giving him attention that he feels Zhangcheng deserves,
Right.
And he doesn't want, that, he wants his boy, he wants his main man to get the attention. He wants his dude, his bro, to have the spotlight on him because he loves him.
Because he deserves it.
Yeah, and he knows that Zhangcheng deserves it, and he knows that he wants it too. So he's like, no. He's gonna be like, no, please don't refer to me as that.
Yeah, he'd probably just reject the title, unless he ended up, becoming a rogue cultivator.
Yeah.
But in that case, I think that he would probably not really stick with the title that people gave him anyway. Yeah. It's just, like you said, it is kind of weird and almost difficult to think about how something like this would have turned out, because the way that the story is set up, there's, unless you did, tried to do a butterfly effect kind of thing, there's little room to really envision how it could have gone otherwise, Yeah.
Because even in, the earliest fucking disaster days, when they're still studying in Gusu, he's still, in the Donghua at least, or no, both of them, he still, fucks around with demonic cultivation a little bit, at least the idea of it. He's like, hey, that wouldn't be necessarily a bad idea. It could be energy efficient.
Exactly.
He says it's just recycling. It's free energy. So,
I think it was set up from the beginning that he would, if not fall into it, not of his own accord, just continue to experiment with it, because he doesn't really give a fuck about what his superiors have to say about it, because he'll have come to his own conclusions or whatever. But anyway.
But yeah, I think the only way he would have avoided it, if things just stayed chill, he grew up to be Mr. Right-Hand Boy. I think he could have resisted demonic cultivation if Zhangcheng reminded him enough. I feel like that's the only person he would have obeyed.
I think if he had been given a choice he would have been able to resist demonic cultivation, but he was not given a choice. So he did what he had to do, what he thought was the most beneficial thing for him to do without consulting anybody else, which is typically how men do it. And, that led to it being how it is. But anyway, I can't really come up with a good title for the boy himself, but
I think he would just grow up to be an adult Pride of Yunmeng.
Yeah.
Along with your boy. An adult man. The adult man.
His name is Adultman Ying.
Adult Way adult.
Wuxian Adultman.
Because Ying means baby, so he's just way adult.
Yeah, he's way adult.
Way adult, way big boy.
Jesus Christ. So
let's go over to Dumbler.
Sorry, that was like kind of an unsatisfactory question, but it's
a big question.
It's a thinker.
Yeah, it's a thinker. We're just using our little noodles.
Oh, so many questions.
Yeah.
All right, so on to Tumblr. Anonymous asked, in honor of the question about who stands what musician, I wonder what songs that most represent our very best boys or girls. I like No Roots by Alice Merton for Wei Wuxian, partly because the first line is I like digging holes, and that is peak Wei Wuxian behavior. Trouble by Parov Stellar is also very on-brand. Thoughts.
Who is this from? Oh, is it from Anonymous? Okay.
Yeah.
See, now here's my big problem. I don't know any song by any band that isn't, like, Yes or the Mars Volta.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead and look up the lyrics and we'll see how we feel. I'm familiar with No Roots by Alice Merton. I'm not a fan, don't like her voice, but the lyrics definitely resonate with Mr. Wei Wuxian.
Wei Wuxian.
So
Wayne Wuxian.
Wayne Wuxian. The first
Enemy
one
of the
is
show.
No Roots.
I do like digging holes. Or does he like hiding things in them?
He just likes digging them, I think.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, I know this song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What songs See, I'm usually really good at this, but like every song I've ever heard has completely left my thing. I think great Lon Wangji song is Running Up That Hill by Kate Bush.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's his girl.
That's his girl. I'm so sorry about it, but like that song is very, very good Kate Bush song. The honorary Kate Bush song for personality mentioned is Cloud Busting for Lan Shui. If you know, you know. It was No Roots by Alice Merton. I do like that for Wei Wuxian. And Trouble by Parov Stellar. I've never in my life heard of that song. So thank you for introducing a new song here.
Yeah, let's see how we get this.
Parov?
Oh, yeah.
Let
You
me
singing
see.
this?
Oh my god. I do my best work when I'm doing wrong. I might be wrecking like a train, but I know that you're gonna ride anyway.
Boy.
Woo! Alright. We like it. As far as songs that I enjoy for Wei Wuxian, one that is fun to think about for Wei Wuxian that I really enjoy is Kill V Maim by Grimes, which is technically about a gender fluid vampire version of Al Pacino.
Specifically in The Godfather 2.
Specifically in The Godfather 2. And he travels through time and space. So that's fun, but it's also really cool. So that's cool for Wei Wuxian, in my opinion. I'm trying to think of anything else that I've listened to. Unfortunately, I've pretty much only listened to Grimes for the past 2 months. I don't know what's wrong with me.
I've mentioned my music taste several times. None of this is in my wheelhouse. But shoot, I mean, send us some fucking character bops. Maybe we'll make a little playlist. That could be fun.
Yeah,
interactive. Yeah.
Zhang Chung is just like
he's pick a Smith song.
Yeah, pick a Smith song. Jesus fuck. You right.
Am I wrong?
No, you're never
Of course
wrong.
not.
That's a really good question. I'm sorry we couldn't answer it more thoroughly. My brain just completely forgot every song I've ever listened to.
Yep.
Anonymous said, I don't know if you're taking scumbling questions, but in case you are, Liao Chinga is a himbo. Discuss. There is nothing to discuss. You're fucking right.
When you write, you write.
You're right.
When you himbo, you himbo.
We don't need to fight you about this because it's clearly depicted in the text that this man knows how to do two things. And that's fight and be really awkward around people that he likes.
Yep.
And that's it. He knows how to, actually three things. He knows how to fight, he knows how to chastise people. He knows how to be really stupid and awkward around people he likes. That's fucking it. No thoughts, head empty, only sword. He's like, fuck, him and Felix Fraldarius could have a great, rollicking fucking conversation and they would only talk about swords.
Oh my god.
Oh, God, thank you so much. Ooh, my face hurts. And another one in the same vein, Anonymous asked, does Xiao Xingchen count as a himbo? You know it.
Pure of heart, dumb of ass.
Pure of heart, dumb of ass.
Pure of heart, dumb of ass.
Pure of heart, dumb of ass. Pure of heart,
dumb of ass. I don't know how much faster and louder we could get, but yeah.
We fucking like it. He's absolutely a himbo.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's no question. He is so... And it's like, the ignorance isn't really his own fault. It's just how he was brought up. And I'm not even saying that because he's like probably the least bigoted person on the planet. He's just stupid. He has no common sense whatsoever.
He's just nothing going on up there.
It's like,
he never learned the skills.
It's like you take a panda out of its natural habitat and it has no idea what the fuck it's doing. It's great at being in its natural habitat.
Oh, yeah.
But you, like, put it on a city street and it just fucking dies. Because it knows how to do, like, two things.
Yeah.
And that's eat and fuck.
Yep.
And it can only eat, like, one specific thing. And
yeah, it's just out here.
It has such a simple life.
It's having a good time eating, sleeping, pooping, and fucking. And that's all you gotta do.
And you put it into real life and it just completely fails.
Yep.
And crumples on itself because it's just a panda. It's just a panda. It had such a limited purpose to begin with.
Yep.
And you went and did that to it.
You shouldn't have.
You really shouldn't have.
Xiao Xingchen, in short, is a panda.
Xiao Xingchen should have stayed in the goddamn house.
He should have stayed in the bamboo forest.
He should have stayed on that mountain.
Eating, sleeping, pooping, and fucking.
That's right. Sorry
just like
about
a panda,
it.
yeah.
Yep. Eating, sleeping, pooping, and fucking. That's all you need. And our final question is from another anonymous friend. They asked, does Xue Yang have a ton of cavities?
Yes.
Yes. He seems like the sort of person who doesn't brush his teeth. This is awful. I hate this. Now I'm wondering which MDZS characters does the dentist yell at?
Oh my god.
Which ones are actually good about dental health? Wei Wuxian is definitely one of those people who does not take care of his teeth at all. He brushes his teeth maybe like once every couple days, but then he goes to the dentist and it's always fine.
Yeah.
And like nothing ever happens with him.
He's the most skating by through life ass bitch. I can't fucking stand it.
Yep, absolutely.
And that comes from me who just skated through most of school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lan Wangji is the type of person who brushes his teeth on a whim.
Yeah.
Whenever he feels like he needs to.
Yeah, he has a few set times in the day where he does it, but then throughout the day, you know, because he's very much a routine boy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Zhangsheng is the opposite of Wei Wuxian. He takes incredibly vigorous care of his teeth.
Because he takes incredibly vigorous care of all of the outside of his body. It doesn't matter that all he eats are black coffee and cigarettes.
Yeah.
The outside of his body must be squeaky fucking clean.
Oh yeah.
Constantly smelling right and looking right because he has an image to maintain.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, he takes very good care of his teeth, but he still ends up needing a root canal for some god unknown reason.
Oh yeah, and
probably
he has,
all the black coffee.
He ends up having like 14 cavities.
Oh yeah, and he's like, how the fuck? How?
Because he has not gone to the dentist in 8 years because he didn't think he needed it. Mm-hmm. And then when he finally went to the dentist and the dentist said, "Yeah, your mouth's fucked up," he was like, shocked Pikachu face. How could this be? But I take such good care of my teeth. Well, what's your diet like? I drink black coffee and I smoke a pack a day. I think that might be your problem there, sir. What the fuck are you talking about? There's no way that can be true.
Huaisong had braces. That's just a fact.
Huaisong definitely had braces. Huaisong had a fucked up ass mouth before she got those braces.
Huaisong had braces.
Huaisong had braces.
Xue Yang canonically
disgusting.
has... Oh, yeah. Xue Yang canonically has snaggle teeth.
Oh, yeah, he has fucking little fangies.
Yeah, little fangies. But yeah, he's a fucking mess.
He's a mess. It's disgusting. His teeth probably fall out. His teeth are probably on their way out when... You know.
When you know.
And he's only like, what?
In current time? In the present?
Like
or
when
in the...
you know. Like currently.
Fuck.
Like his teeth are... I didn't even have to say that because they literally fought with him before.
Yeah.
But like 27?
Yeah, something like that.
His teeth are already on their way out.
Oh, yeah.
I guarantee fucking to you.
Yeah. He's gonna be toothless before 30.
I guarantee you.
Fuck off. Fuck off. It's the tooth.
I'm sorry that you're not... Remember the tooth! Remember the tooth!
Remember the tooth.
Remember the tooth! I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little... We're not fucking doing it. Anyway, that was it for our questions.
I think
maybe it's time for a little housekeeping.
I think it's time for a little housekeeping.
Fear is the little dentist.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pinch your cheek so hard. Gosh. You frickin' baby.
We have a Patreon.
We do have a Patreon, and if you throw treats into our mouth, we will throw them back at you like a weird kind of baby bird thing, but with less regurgitation.
$1 a month of treats. You can be a disciple of the show, get access to all our Patreon exclusive bonus content, including shoes and get iPad plus special role in our Discord. $5 a month, you can be sec leader of the show, and you get all that plus a more special role in our Discord channel, and a little thank you shout out on the show. And at the start of every month, you can get a little doodle from one of us.
A little noodle.
A little noodle.
A little noodle.
And for $10 a month, you can be a chief cultivator of the Pod Recesses world and get all of that and an even more special role in our Discord. And you can listen. That's not what you do anymore. You can help us decide where to send our charity money. Oh, no, it is. And you can listen in when we record our episodes, including She's and Get iPad. And you also get a doodle.
We do still gotta donate our charity money for this month.
We do. We gotta decide who our candidates are gonna be. So shout out to our $5 sec leaders, Sarah M., Lenny W., Carrie, Lena, Rachel W., and Audrey F. Thank you so much for supporting us. Yay. And a big $10 thank you shout out to chief cultivators of the show, Scout and Colin. We love you. OGs, day ones.
We love it.
The real ones. The realest real ones.
And we thank all of you listeners for sticking with us, whether you contribute to us monetarily or not.
Absolutely. We love you.
We love every single one of you. Thank you for listening to us holler about this book for 2 hours on end.
Thank you also to Noisepace.xyz for being our podcast network, and thank you to Sec Leader Matt for being our podcast master.
The podcast hound.
The podcast master.
He does that.
The podmaster.
The podmaster.
Podmaster Matthew.
The cast master.
Yeah, thank you for providing us with other good cat of the show looker.
Go on to Noisepace.xyz. You're going to find so much cool podcast content there.
Yeah, you're going to find some new podcasts.
Yeah, they got a couple new things.
Yeah, such as The Big Match Minute if you want to hear about wrestling, and LMNOP if you want to hear a recent guest of the show, Val Flight Cub, talk about Elementary of Sherlock Holmes TV.
The one where Lucy Liao is there and she's hot.
Yeah. It's good.
And she's cool.
And we love Val, so we love to fucking hear it.
Yeah.
To me.
Val definitely rules.
Val, good. Yeah. So once again, I'm Roy. That's my name. I'm on Twitter at SemperFunny, and also at Yeeling Hypebeast, which is where I only talk about Modao and complain about the fandom.
Yeah, and I'm Fallon. I am on Twitter at America's Burden.
And nowhere else.
And nowhere else.
You can find
it for my life.
Yep. You can find Pod Recesses the Us at cloudrecessespod.tumblr.com and on twitter.com/cloudrecesspod, just one recess.
You get one.
You get one. We're on all the podcast apps and the websites and stuff. Like, rate, comment, subscribe, please. We like to see it. Intergage. Write a review. Some shit like that. And if you're over 18, you can join our Discord and have some fun. We talk about good shit.
Just don't be weird about it.
Yeah, just don't be weird. Nobody's weird. It's fine.
We're all cool there, honestly. So.
Hell yeah. We're just vibing. We're just vibing. We're talking about which mustache is the true villain of the Untamed. So
yeah, I would argue that all of them are.
That's true.
No mustache is a friend to me.
Yeah.
But anyway,
look at Donghua Wenrohan versus Untamed Wenrohan and tell me that mustaches aren't the enemy.
I am sorry. What they did to Wenrohan is it's just criminal.
It's just criminal. Like, I know he's a fascist, and I know he's evil and bad, but you didn't have to do him that dirty. Nobody needs to be done that dirty.
Like, nobody. Jesus. Anyway, thank you so much for listening.
Give him his acrylics back.
Give him his acrylics back.
Link to all of the shit is in the description, by the way. Anyway, thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening. Do you know what we say at the end of every episode?
What?
Well, we say Semper Bunny, of course.
Oh yeah, Semper Bunny.
Semper Bunny. That's her new favorite thing, by the way. The fucking misspelling of Bunny. B-N-U-U-Y, baby. You are all my nephews now?
Devil has been solved.
Bye.
Bye.